Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Good morning, my friends. Or good evening, wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. How are we doing? It's been a while. It's been a long, long time, hasn't it? I thought, I thought I would like to check in, and I'd like to see you guys, and I realized I hadn't actually played Termina for a little while. I think it's actually been... I haven't played Termina at all this year, I think. Not even to record footage. My last video, I didn't need to record any new footage. I already had it all. Why isn't my chat showing up? What is happening here? Oh, I guess you guys aren't talking on stream today, sorry. Hang on a second. Let me have a look-see. I did have to reset all of my things. Oh, no, there we go. Yes. There you are. Hang on, what's this one? No, that one's slightly different. We like this one. Which one do we want? This one or this one? This one's got a few more. This one's prettier, though. Are they all working? So we got Sin. We got... Hey, Twitch, can you send a couple of messages to make sure you show up on stream here? Hi, how you doing? Oh, I might need to sneeze, golly. That'd be embarrassing. Bless me. Golly. No, I guess that one... Okay, that one doesn't have Twitch, so I think it's this one has everybody. Okay, so we use this one. Okay, this one's got everybody. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Now, I haven't been here for a little while, and if you follow me on Twitter, which you probably shouldn't do because I'm terrible there, but if you do follow me on Twitter, you probably would have seen why. So last year was pretty terrible for me, and then I was down in the dumps. I'll say that. I was down in the dumps, guys, and I at the start of this year, only a few months ago now, really, I was diagnosed with ADHD. So I've been my entire life with ADHD, and not the fun kind either. I'm joking. None of them are fun, but not the kind that makes you hyperactive either. It was what was it called? It was called inattentive ADHD, where you have the periods of the meme ADHD where you're like super hyperactive and whatnot. You have that. Sorry, I shouldn't call it meme ADHD either, because that's people really struggle from that. But you don't have like the one that everybody knows, right? You do have that for like 2 weeks and then you crash, and that's what was happening to me. I was having that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd crash, and the crash was getting worse and worse. So it got to the point where it was 6 weeks, and I was struggling to get out of bed. So I was pretty low there for a while, and then I saw some post about how it's probably, how look into ADHD, so I did that, and there's like an online test you can do where it's like, it's not like you definitely have it, but it's, you have a good chance of having it. Like the more you score, the more likely you do, but it's not a guarantee, like a diagnosis, right? And it's from like the World Health Organization, so it's fairly legit, and I did that, and I got almost a perfect score, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should go see somebody about it then. And I went to see somebody, and the first thing he did was he gave me that test to do, and I'm like, well, I've kind of already done this, and he's like, yeah, I know, but we've got to do it again. So I did that, and I did this and that, and we went through it, and he's like, after the second session, because they do have a certain amount of testing they have to do, even if they're fairly confident, there's a certain number of tests they have to do that just take time. And I come back after I've done all my tests, and he takes one look at them and goes, yeah, you've got ADHD. So put me on meds, and then it's just been fantastic ever since. Like it's like no joke. I feel awake now for the first time in my life. The only other times I've felt this way is when I've been on other medication that stopped working after like 1 or 2 weeks, because it wasn't for ADHD, it was for something, it was other similar things. ADHD often gets diagnosed as depression pretty frequently, and I got diagnosed with depression, and they gave me meds for that. I know I'm being very personal and very what's the word for it? Parasocial with you guys, but I just want you to know where I've been and what's happening. because I think I owe it to you guys at the very least. Because I do love streaming and I love hanging out with you guys, and I think some of you guys like it too a little bit. I like to think some of you guys like it too. So I thought, just clear the air. That's where I've been. What meds? Yes, I'm on Vyvanse actually as well. There's at least 3 or 4 major ones. In Australia, that's the one they put you on first, is Vyvanse. Because it's a little easier to take than, I think Adderall is the second one they'll give you if Vyvanse doesn't work. And it's thankfully, it's worked perfectly for me. It's been smooth sailing. I've been very lucky with that. Been thanking my lucky stars. You go to like the ADHD Reddit. Oh, you see some horror stories there. You'll see people that were like worse than me. I was pretty bad. When I was bad, I thought I was pretty bad. But you see some people there and they're like, yeah, I just can't function. Like I can't do anything, and none of the meds work. And I was, look, just between you and me, guys, I was a little worried that was going to happen to me. But thankfully it didn't. So, and I was talking to the doctor, and he said, because I actually have a friend who's similar. Obviously, I won't say who, but they have ADHD, and the meds don't work that well on them. And I was talking to my doctor just out of curiosity. I was like, yeah, look, I've got this friend, and I've seen other people online, and they say the meds just bounce off them. And he said, well, my immediate thought is that they either have been misdiagnosed or they have a really bad comorbidity. And well, yeah, but I have talked to some people that have it, and the ones where the meds don't really work, and they're like, actually, yeah, I do have comorbidities. It's like, okay, so you need a bit of a cocktail there. But anyway, that's beside the point. We're back. So now that I'm on these meds, I have to stop myself from working 24 hours a day every day. I really have to pull myself away from work. And I just love it. Pablo, my man, thank you so much. Always looking out for me, buddy. You know what? I'm so pleased to see all these names and faces here that were here in the past when I've been streaming. And so it's so nice to see you guys come back. And it's nice to see new faces too. Because that means there's more people. It means that the old faces mean that the Fear and Hunger community is still going strong. And the new faces means that there's new people coming in. And that's really important for a community too. So I'm really glad to see all you guys here. I'm very thankful that you popped in to see a little old me. Little old Morley Duke. Medications affect every person differently, so sometimes they simply do not work as they should. Million alternatives. Exactly. And they'll like look at the chemistry and they'll be like, we have no idea why this isn't working. It works for everybody else, but it just bounces off you, you know? I think it's the first time I caught you live. Yeah, oh, hey, Nate, man. My man, Nate. Nate and I have done some chats over on his channel, and we're cooking up some things for the future, so make sure you go check out, hang on. I don't know if you can post your link here, Nate, but because YouTube is very touchy about people posting links. Hang on, let me grab it. G8Nate. Here. So here, go check out G8Nate. He's got some great stuff there. If you like anime, particularly mecha anime, but he talks about a few different things there, so it's pretty sick. Where are we? Here. And in Twitch as well. There we go. Yes, good guy. And yes, we do have some things. There's some things we're cooking up. So, subscribe. Let's see. One of the new ones, Fear and Hunger first got me hooked because I can't easily buy it in Germany. Yeah, look, it's just been... That's been a constant struggle, and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. You need Germany to change their laws, but that's like pulling teeth, isn't it? Getting anybody to do anything. Last few times you streamed, that would start as I was walking to work. Midnight for you. Wow, okay. This is a fair bit early. Yes, this is a much earlier stream. This is going to be a shorter stream. I'll just chat for a little bit and say hello. Even though I have plans, I always end up chatting a lot, so I might actually chat for a bit longer than I thought I would. Insane to me that we have devolved to a cheek swab test that can tell us what anxiety, depression meds might help you more. Really? Oh, yeah. I remember when they gave me meds for that, I remember who was it? Someone was telling me that there were tests you could do, and they were very early stages then, I think. Or they weren't very well known here. But that's awesome. Thanks for getting me into funga. I wish you a great stream. Thank you, Death Simulacrum. I appreciate it. Here, because you like you chatting. Good lord, that's terrifying. That's a terrifying thought. 'Cause I can chat all day. I'm so that's actually one thing that the meds have elevated in me is they make me yap. I tell you, they make a boy yap. So I've got to be really careful with that. So the next script I'm working on is about. So I'm working on a big video at the moment. It's a really big video. It's going to be my longest. It's going to be at least 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And the word count for the script, I had to pull myself away from this script and rig up some system of pulleys where there's a big machine hanging over my computer so that if I edited a single word in this script, it would like electroshock me. It was a devious device, but I needed it. I needed it to actually stop working on this thing because the word count, it's 22,000 words. That's, a full novel is 60,000 words. That's a third of a novel. And that's after I cut out a bunch too. Like I had to, as I was going. So I finished the script and then I realized I wanted to add some more. So like I found some interesting academic stuff. Then I added that. And then I was going through Urban Spook's Instagram and I noticed some really interesting themes that was popping up in his regular art as well as in the painter that I hadn't talked about. So I added that too. And then I'm adding more and more and more. And it's like, man, I even talk about Shakespeare's Macbeth in here. Like there's, I don't know if there's any. And the crazy thing is, as I was writing the outro, I realized that there were some things I didn't talk about. Like I didn't talk much about the music. I didn't talk much about the sexual nature of the crimes. Although I talked about subjects similar, so it probably would only be a couple of bridging sentences, so that could probably be easy to fix. But there's still some things that I was like, man, I didn't talk about this. I wanted this to be the most thorough video about the painter. And it might not be. You could make a more thorough one. But I'm like, no, I can't. I cannot spend longer writing the script. Because, like, I started recording it the other day, and because I want the dialogue to be, I want my voiceover to be perfect, right? You can probably tell that I'm speaking actually a little bit differently than I usually do, and that's because I have changed how I've been speaking when recording. I've dropped my voice down a little bit and speaking from the chest rather than the throat. Like an e-boy, like a Discord daddy e-boy. What's that corpse song? E-girls are ruining my life. God, I wish that was me. Yeah, I just woke up, babe. Yeah. Yo, Urban Spook, man, how you doing? What a legend. Man, look, I don't want to gush, but there is only one other, like, Urban's, like, the painter. Okay, so, hang on, I'll link it. You guys know the painter, but I'll link it in the off chance that there's somebody here that doesn't know what it is. I'll link the painter. Go check it out. It is fantastic. Also, look, here's what I'm going to say. And I talk about this in the actual video too. So, a lot of the complaints you see online, look, I don't disagree. But, I think they tend to be overblown, but at the heart of it, there's probably some truth there, right? But that caused a lot of people to not see the good things. They just wrote it off as a lazy gore fest. And it's not that at all. It really isn't. It's so, I need to turn my mic down. I'm peeking a bit, aren't I? It's so deep. So you know how people joke about analog horror and horror games being like, oh yeah, super deep and edge, super deep. There's lots of layers of meaning. This is one of the few series that actually is that, and I'm very frustrated because I can't. One of the themes is death of the author, so I can't ask Urban Spook how intentional all of this is. You know how frustrating this is? You know how I think I'm going crazy when I'm seeing all these things and nobody else online has mentioned them, not even once. Not even once has anybody mentioned any of this stuff. And I'm like, am I going crazy here? Am I just making this up? But then I'll see like something else in there and I'm like, no, this is obvious. Like he's trying to be obvious with this. Anyway, you'll see it all. You'll see it all in the video. You'll see it all. Because I go into painstaking detail. I was actually quite annoyed. Yo, Crackening Man, thank you so much. I haven't seen this. Hang on, I haven't said hello to everybody. What am I doing? Okay, Twitch first. J Ron, how you doing? Cheat Chase, Shellin Mastermind, Wunchy, how you going, guys? How you going? And Raccoon, of course. Appreciate you. Love your videos. Be very interesting to watch. Thank you, Urban Speaker. Really appreciate that. Yeah, So I will say this first. I was actually quite annoyed at the analog horror community because not the fans, right? The fans, look, most of them aren't going to spend the time to dig through something and figure it all out, right? You just have to expect that the viewers aren't going to do that. Some will, but most won't. The YouTubers, I was very annoyed at them because they're the people who should sit down and analyze it. And I think that even if you come at it from the idea that, it's lazy gore, whatever, it still deserves the time and attention to actually break it down, if only for the fact that it's one of the most popular analog horror series ever. Look, some of your videos are getting 1 million views. Do you know how rare that is? The vast majority of analog horror do not get that numbers. It just doesn't happen. And for that fact alone, it is worth putting the time into it. Hello, Kelakona. It is The Painter. If you missed that, hang on. If you missed that link, I'll just send that again. So make sure to check out The Painter. I'll be doing a video on it soon. It's probably going to be a little while before it's out because I'm doing some pretty intense stuff. Oh, you know what? I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Actually, I won't do too much. I do show a bit more on my Patreon, but I want to show you what I've been doing for it. Just a little, just a hint. Okay. What's the best thing to show? Oh, okay. I'll show you this. That's got gore. I don't want to show too much gore here. Here, I'll show you this one. So I'm trying some different visual styles. So visually, this will look different than the actual series itself. I will use clips from the series, of course, but visually it's very much its own video. And the reason I do that is because, well, I want to, but I also want you to actually go and watch the main series. And if I just used every single clip from the series and don't have my own visuals, then what's the point, right? So I'm adding a lot of my own visuals, and this is one of them. So, I guess this is spoilers. Hang on, I'll see if I have one without spoilers. Okay, this one doesn't have spoilers. I didn't even think about that. It's like a big picture of the killer, and it's like, oh, okay. No, that's actually maybe because there might actually be some people here who haven't watched it yet. Okay, hang on. Let me just add this image. They changed how you add images in OBS. It's a little more annoying now. Well, that's quite large, isn't it? Yes. Well, I did. So what I did with this, I'll show you. It's quite huge, actually. Here we go. So see here, right? It's make it a little bigger. So in the series itself, there's lots of paintings, right? Obviously, it's called The Painter. But there's also lots of just photographs as well. And like lots of little bits of evidence and interviews and dialogue and whatnot. So what I thought I would do is I would make evidence sheets, and it's based off of the government's UFO drop they did recently. Really cool visual. So I was inspired by that. Excuse me. And so what I did was I wanted to print out these pictures, crumple them up, and put them back together. That would cost me about $1,000 worth of ink. So I had to use. I did scan the paper, so the paper scans are all real. But so like that I actually printed out this interview paper. I've got that sitting around there, and but the actual paintings are pictures, photographs, digitally added. And I've done that for heaps of them. It took me a couple of days. I've got like 20 of them. And that's one set of visuals that I'm doing for this. And I say, I'm glad you like it. There's some really cool ones, but I don't want to show them here because they're spoilers like what happens at the end and whatnot. So in the final episodes, I'm like, well, I kind of don't want to. If there's people here who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for them. And I'm also using 3D as well for certain things. So Do I have one of those sitting around, actually? Some of those are kind of... They're not really gory, but they're like... Well, here's an old one. Hang on, I'll grab this one. This one, I've changed the visuals a little bit, but it's fairly similar. So this is somebody... One of the early kills in there is somebody in a bathtub. And so I'm going to have visuals that are like this. What's kind of small? So very detached. It's like you know how in documentaries sometimes I'll have like really basic visualizations of murders. That's what I'm going for. And like, you know, the camera will be rotating. It won't be animated, but the camera will be like rotating around. The bodies won't be moving. Because as I was looking at the crimes, I was like, these can be a little hard to visualize, and I need a lot of B-roll anyway. So I thought, you know, I'll do this, it'll be really cool. And I wanted to learn how to use Blender anyway. So I had a friend make some models up for me. Some human models, and I got some free like bathtubs and other bits and pieces. Yeah, and it so yeah, it's what I tried to do was I tried to echo the themes of the series in the art that I'm doing as well. And I won't say what it is now, but there's a certain level of detachment that echoes throughout the series, and that's what I wanted to try and capture. Was so these 3D is sort of like the really detached style in there, and the evidence sheets are more the investigative element, where you're finding old information and dredging it up. That's sort of what I'm trying to capture with that. We'll see how it actually plays out. It might be a little discordant, the 3D and then like the analog style paper, but we'll try and make it work. We'll see how we go. At the very least, it's a fun experience to set all this stuff up, right? Be good. Can't wait to see what it cooks. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it. I do wonder sometimes, because I watched every single... So I literally went through and I watched every single video about the Urban Spook series from after the finale. I watched every single one on YouTube, including highlights and stream VODs and whatnot. And it gets a little repetitive because they're like, so in episode 1, this is what happens. And then episode 2, this is what happens. And I watched all of it. No, I've watched all of it. So what I try to do is I try to make it a little more interesting. So visually, that this will really help, but also because most times they don't really do anything that interesting visually. Not that I can complain. I used to do that too. But what I try to do is I try and weave analysis into that early as well. So it's not like, here's literally what happens. It's like, here's what happens, and here's some things to look for, and here's some themes that are already showing up, and then here's what it ties into, and like, you know, watch out for this later. You know, so it's actually like a bit more interesting. So you don't have to skip the first half of the video if you've already watched the series. You know, we'll see how it goes. I want this to be my magnum opus. I want this to be... My last video was my best video I've ever made. I want this one to be... And this... I didn't tell anybody this. But when I made the last video, there were some sections where I was making it, and I'm like, when people see this, I want them to say, wow. And I didn't say that out loud. Well, I didn't tell anybody. And then somebody said that in chat when it was airing, and I was like, yes, I nailed. That's exactly what I wanted. And for this one... No, fuck it, I'll say it. I want it to be even better. I want people to say "holy shit" when I want them to swear. I want them to get bad boy points for that. I want them to be naughty, and have to put a penny in the swear jar. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. I do have a little bit of a problem though, because I have a younger relative who is underage who watches my things sometimes. So I've got to make sure that they don't watch it. You know, some horror is fine for kids. Urban Spook is not. It is not fine for kids. So I've got like so many warnings at the start because of that. I'm just like, look, and I'm gonna have to sit them down and talk to them and just go like, look, you can't. You genuinely can't watch this because it will ruin your childhood. So they may have me watching right now. I've come over to their place before, and they'll have their iPad out and they're watching me. I'm like, wait, what? It's pretty funny. Anyway, Okay, so yes, that's what I'm planning. That's what I'm planning. I'm working very hard on it. So in the past, when I was when there was a big break between videos, it means I'd gone crazy and I wasn't working, right? But now, on my new meds, I am working around the clock. I am literally, like, the only breaks I'm having are like to eat food, and you know, every other moment I'm just thinking or working on this. To the point where I'm worried I might burn out. So I had to stop myself working after dinner because I was worried I would burn out on it. So I'll have dinner and then, you know, watch some anime and whatnot. And then, you know, just read and so on. And, you know, reading's good. You know, reading's good for your brain. It's good long term. It's a Mr. Beast problem, right? He used to spend literally all day, every day working on content, but he realized it made him a boring person and that made his content worse. So then he decided to try and make himself an interesting person and has hobbies now. And because that makes his content better. And, and that's a situation I'm in now. So. Top 3 anime. All time. My taste is probably going to be a bit simple, I think. I really liked. So Lane, of course, is the GOAT. You know what? I'm going to throw some curveballs at you. My favorites are Mazuko. No, Makuzo. How do you pronounce that? Machikado? Shamiko Show. It's Shamiko Show. Just Google Shamiko. It's gonna be Nichi Bros. So Daily Lives of High School Boys. It's the funniest anime, and it hasn't aged a day. You will never laugh so hard as it was when you watch Nichi Bros, right? And what would be the last one? What one really stuck with me? I used to really like Hitamari's Sketch, but I tried rewatching it, and some of those old slice of life shows, they haven't aged very well. So, like, I tried watching K-On! Again, and that hasn't aged very well either, I think. But so maybe I do need a third now, don't I? I'm currently watching because my friend Lapon Kotsu has been talking about other VTuber Lapon Kotsu, who she voiced in my Zelda video. Actually, she was the voice of Saria in that. She nailed it, by the way. But she's been watching a show called Classicaloid, where it's about the classic composers have been reborn. And so I've been watching a bit of that too, because the music's awesome. It's fantastic music. And look, the first half of like the first episode, I was so checked out. I'm like, man, this is some really slop female harem, you know, romance slop. This is so boring. And then the second half of the first episode, I was like, oh my god, I am so locked in. And then it just hasn't let go since. I haven't finished it. It's like 50 episodes, so I've got a way to go. But so I won't say it's my favorite because I haven't finished it. Maybe the second half takes a real dive, you know. But that's really good. I don't know what my third would be. Maybe something like Darker Than Black. That was sick. Or Ergo Proxy. That was I need to rewatch that one actually. I've been thinking about that one lately, Ergo Proxy, because people have been talking about Evanescence. So it makes me want to go back and rewatch Ergo Proxy. Google it, you'll see exactly why. Hang on. I can just pull it up here, can't I? Ergo Proxy. She looks like she it wouldn't shock me if she was just straight up based off of the one from the picture of Evanescence girl, you know. But yeah, I don't really... Oops, hang on. Get this right one. There we go. See, look, she's like straight from Evanescence. It's great. Hang on, my mic is peaking again. I need to turn down a smidge. Is my volume still fine? And do I still sound fine while I'm talking? You know, I love horror. I really love... I prefer playing horror games over everything else. I love watching horror videos, horror analysis videos, horror shorts and whatnot, but I just don't think I've watched any horror anime, except like... What have I watched? Last season I watched Kaya Isn't Scared, which kind of doesn't count, because it was a bit goofy for it to be real horror. So I really do need to go through and actually watch some horror, so... I don't know. I feel like a bit of a poser sometimes, because I'd be like, yeah, I love anime. Oh yeah, what, you like horror anime? No. Oh. So I have Urban Spook. I have the Urban Spook in my chat asking me what anime I like, and that's why I was like, oh god, I should probably say something cool then, shouldn't I? Lane. No, I try not to be a poser. I try to actually like the things I like and be open about that. You know, we all learn that lesson. That's a lesson we should learn in school. You know, don't be a poser. Just like what you like. Okay. It's okay. It's okay if you like anime about cute girls doing cute things. You know, it's okay if you like magical girl anime. It doesn't matter if you're a scary demon who haunts computers and talks exclusively about the goriest, who's currently working on a video about the goriest analog horror that ever existed that contains like genuinely shocking content. It's okay. You can turn that off, then you can go watch Precure. It's fine. Isn't the stream about being a poser? Yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be laughing today, aren't we? Yeah, so like, you know, all the anime I like, you know, Lane's okay, but you know, it's it's alright if you like the kiddie stuff. It's pretty entry level. You know, I like stuff like, you know, like Go for a Punch is my favourite one, or, you know, Berserk's okay, but, you know. How about Perfect Blue? We love Perfect Blue, don't we? That's the one we like. Or, you know, when I want to laugh, I watch something like Grave of the Fireflies, you know. Grave of the Fireflies. That's one of my favourites. What was that? Hang on. What was that recent list that was going around that was like the darkest anime ever? I think I bookmarked it because I actually do want to like watch a bunch of them and see what they're like. Darkest anime ever. Number one is Frieren. Especially when she shows her feet. Then it's the darkest ever. Where was it? Did I bookmark it? Am I just crazy? Golly, maybe I didn't. Hang on. Here it is. Most disturbing, top 15 most disturbing anime ever. Number 15, Berserk. Dark fantasy horror with some unforgettable, disturbing moments. I guess it does. You know, the horse. You know, I see that and I just laugh. You know, that's how sick and twisted I am. I see something like the horse, and I'm like, yeah, that's just a day in my fucked up life, and this is a straight shot into my fucked up mind. You know. It's like probably my favorite manga is Sakentaro Dai. Yeah, that's a real shame. That is such a shame. It is good that his assistants know what's happening and they know what he wanted with it. So at least it'll be as close as humanly possible to actually having him finish it. But it does really suck. I convinced Lapon Kotsu, because we trade anime. She makes me watch Precure. She thinks she makes me watch Precure, but I actually like it. And I made her watch Berserk, Golden Age. So it was the 1997 one or something like that. Because I think that's one of the greatest arcs of anything ever told. Is that it's beautiful. It is genuinely beautiful, and the anime was pretty good. It's a bit dated. It suffered from having a lower budget than it deserved, and it did cut out some parts, but on the whole, it covers most of it fairly well, and it's just stunning. Like Guts and Griffith's descent during that arc is beautiful. It's stunning. I genuinely, I'm not LARPing here. I genuinely mean that. It's just permanently, ever since I read it years ago, it's just been stuck in my head, and I just think about it. It pops up from time to time. I just can't help but thinking about it. Watch the 1992 Midori anime. And I'll write that down. And yeah, it's got some great aura moments too, some great art in it. Even though it did have a lower budget, like half the budget it deserved. You know, it deserved 10 times that. It was still just had some gorgeous moments. Oh, excuse me, Midori. 902, I'll check that out later. Okay. Where were we? What were we up to? Top 15 most disturbing anime. Dark, disturbing, unforgettable. Number 14, Happy Sugar Life. How do they say it in the anime? Happy Sugar Life. I did watch that. That was okay. Shiki, haven't seen that. Monster, haven't seen that. That's the one about the doctor, isn't it? No. No. Manga where he drills his head. This one's mandatory reading. Homunculus. Yes, you must read Homunculus. Did they make a Homunculus anime? Homunculus anime. No, they didn't. It deserves it. Wait, what? Hang on. Oh, they made a movie about it. Oh, how did they not know that? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing after stream. I'm watching Homunculus, the movie. It's made by the guy who... Hang on. The manga was written by the guy who wrote Ichi the Killer. That makes so much sense. Ichi the Killer was so sick. Apparently they changed the story a lot in the movie. Well, they did a bit in the Ichi the Killer movie anyway. Although I will say I did like Ichi's redesign in the movie. I thought they really nailed the redesign. I thought that was good. But Homunculus is awesome, live action movie as well. I'm gonna have to check that out. So a while ago, I used to be really into esoteric subjects, and the only reason I didn't really follow through, I was like practicing magic. I have a magic knife, and I have a whole bunch of tarot cards and whatnot, right? And I got a whole bunch of textbooks, and I was going through it, and I was doing rituals and whatnot. And I used to do it on stream, actually. If you see on my channel, I've got a collection of old VODs and whatnot in one of my what are they called, playlists. In one of my playlists, you can see all that old stuff if you want to poke around. The mic quality is awful. I was poking through it the other day, and I was like, wow, my mic was terrible. How did I do this? No wonder I didn't get many viewers. I sounded like shit. Anyway, I was really into that. And I, of course, am naturally drawn to the most extreme things. And one of the things I was very interested in was trepanation. And trepanation is the act of drilling through your skull to open up, to relieve the pressure and drain the external fluid. So this fluid outside of the sac of the brain, and drain that out. And what that does is, allegedly, it puts you in a permanent state. They call it a permanent high, but it's not quite that. It's more like a permanent state of, you might think of it as religious intoxication. This might be a better way of putting it. It literally opens your mind. And I seriously considered doing that, but I thought, no, there's no point doing that if I haven't done the groundwork first. You know, there's no point when you're doing esoteric and religious stuff, there's no point jumping ahead, because if you do it, you'll just, at worst, it won't do anything. At best, you'll get owned, right? So there's no point. So I didn't do it. But I was planning it. I was like, yep, this is on my list. This is what I'll do. And there's actually a book called, what was it? What is it called? Borehole. And they're like, this is the most disgusting book you'll ever read. And it wasn't the most disgusting book you'll ever read. Borehole by Joe Mellon. Yes, that is a very appropriate name for a guy. Joe Mellon. For a guy who drilled a hole in his head. Sorry. Borehole by Joe Mellon. A heavily expanded edition of Joe Mellon's legendary, long-out-of-print auto-trepanation memoir. A heavily expanded edition of trepanation memoir. Borehole takes us deep into the dawning of the UK's psychedelic counterculture, and into the mind breaking free from the confines of a traditional English upbringing. Travelling to Morocco, and then Ibiza, then back to the first spring of swinging London, Joe Mellon discovers the pleasures of hashish, captivated by the visionary intensity of LSD, and, after meeting the Dutch psychedelic guru Bart Hughes, attempts the ultimate head trip, the Borehole. As well as a selection of unseen archive photographs, this edition includes a new postscript, essays, appendices, and a 1967 interview with Bart Hughes. And so I got that book. It's pretty good. It's not that disgusting. Like, the actual trepanation part is only a couple pages. It is a very interesting book, but if you're reading it for the horror, you will be disappointed. If you're reading it for the whole mindset of the time and just a touch of the esoteric stuff, that's fine. If you want a full esoteric handbook, it's pretty bad. It's more historical than anything else, and it is interesting, but I wouldn't recommend it for horror or esoteric reasons, to be honest. There's much better stuff than that. But I don't know. So the thing with drilling a hole in your head is that in most places you're allowed to do it, because you're allowed to perform. Well, so it really does depend. In some places you're allowed to do those sort of things to yourself. Doctors are not even if you could find a doctor that would want to do it, they're legally often not allowed to do such things. They're often very restricted on what sort of operations they can perform on themselves. So in England at the time, he had a doctor friend help him set up, but like give him the tools, help him acquire the anesthetic legally and like through proper channels, and like get all the equipment like the knives and whatnot, and all paid for properly. But the doctor wasn't allowed to be in the room and wasn't allowed to help him or guide him in any way. Else, then that would be like an illegal procedure. So he had to do it all himself. So it was auto-trepanation. It was trepanating the self. It was pretty cool. Hey, mechanic, how you doing, man? And some cultural Aussie drongo stuff with civilized folk wouldn't understand. Enki vibes, exactly, Enki vibes. No, this is English. And now there's probably there actually is. So I believe he now lives in the US, and I believe that there were 2 other people that trepanned themselves that are also still alive in the US, and I almost contacted them, but I only like contacting people when I have something interesting to say, and I don't want to waste their time, you know. You don't, like, these are special people, and they're people too, you know. You don't want to waste someone's time when you just want to like gush at them, you know. Well, you know, maybe some people like the gushing, but and look, if you want to go into my DMs and gush a little bit, look, I'm not gonna complain. But for like, you know, people like that who are significant historical figures, I'm like, well, do I have something worth asking them? Is it an interesting question? And the answer was no. And that's why I also didn't send a letter to the Unabomber, John Kaczynski, because he only died fairly recently, like a couple of years ago, right? And he was accepting letters. John, I can never spell his last name. It's the Poles, you know, they're like Unabomber, death. When did he die? Yeah, so only like 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago, actually. And yeah, he died from cancer or something like that, right? And yeah, he was accepting letters. Obviously, you'd have to handwrite them, right? Oh, it would be pretty funny to send him one on the typewriter. I'm sure he got a few of those. He'd probably get tired of that joke, but anyway. And I was like, yeah, I'll send him a letter because he's a very interesting guy, and I thought his work was interesting. Obviously, you know, the bombings, right? Well, you know, take it or leave it. But his writing was very interesting. So, very interesting man. I'm like, well, it's not often that you get these historical figures like that are still alive, that you can talk to, and there's a good chance they'll reply to you. And I was like, well, I was reading that he got a lot of letters, and I'm like, do I want to take up his time? What do I have to say that's worth his time? And the answer was nothing. So I think that's something to be mindful of. Like, it would be cool to have like a type response from him or send him a letter, but it's like, well, let's put history first, guys. Let's put history first, is my opinion. I'm not a horror groupie, you know. Not that there's anything wrong with being a horror groupie, but that's not me. I want to be useful. Like, so I'm very interested in the philosopher Nick Land, who is look. If you've seen his personal Twitter, you can take that or leave that too. But I think his ideas are very interesting. Him and a few other people from the collective that he started. Well, I'm not sure if he started it directly, but he was part of it back in like the 90s, called the CCRU. And very interesting people. That was Mark Fisher, if you know him, who looked into the eyes of the same thing that Nick Land looked at. Nick Land went mad. He talks to angels and demons now. Mark Fisher went crazy and he killed himself. So that was his solution. Was he took the wrong way out. So there are. The CCRU really wraps their things up in Lovecraftian terms, because when they look at the truth of what they're actually seeing, when they honestly approached it, it did send them crazy. And when you read their stuff, it seems like gibberish until it clicks, then it's like, oh my god, what the hell is this? This is awful. Like, it's so obviously true, and it's just... I'm a weird guy anyway, so I sort of, that's why I like the aesthetic a lot, and that got me into the philosophy, and the philosophy is very hard to wrap your head around. So I'm starting I've always wanted to like do the homework, so to say, and actually try and really grasp what Nick Land is saying in his philosophical work, and what the other members of the CCRU are as well. So Nick Land went really right-wing, and the rest of them generally went left-wing. Mark Fisher went very left-wing, and he ended up killing himself. So, you know, Nick Land went very right-wing and went very crazy. So, but the rest of them, as far as I'm aware, I haven't tracked down all of them, but as far as I'm aware, they're all generally sort of, you know, in the general sense that academics tend to be. But that's academics, right? They pick a lane, don't they? If you want to work in academia, you got to be left wing. If you go crazy, then you go right wing. So anyway, enough politics talk. Yes, I want to understand them, and I want to do the homework, and it's a lot of reading. So that's a project I can actually focus on now, because I can actually spend the time reading. So, futuristic type guy, yes, but we're living in the future. The future is now. So it's worth reading Nick Land for that reason. So, all weird here is why we watch you. Yeah. Yes, I suppose so. I don't know if there's any reading I can tell you to go look at. Maybe just Google CCRU and see what comes up. See if you find anything that sparks your fancy. I think that's the best way to do it. It's a maze. It's a maze with a lot of entrances and no exits. I think it's the best way to describe the CCRU, to be honest. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, but let's not use all our juice talking about philosophy, huh? Let's actually do what we're here to do. Let's what are we here to do? I forgot. Anyway, I didn't say hello to everybody in YouTube chat, did I? Hello, DM Red. Hello, Always Al Raza. Hello, Dephany. Hello, Elder Gusto, our old friend. Hello, Mr. Nobody. Hello, G8 Nate. Hello, Capitangel. That's a cool name, Capitangel. Hello, Eris Vridge. Hello, Bruno Hep. Hello, Richter Scale. Hello, the 0450 Theo. Hello, Tam Tam. Hello, Rebel Wolf. Hello, Krakening. Hello, Liquidy Kev. Hello, Joey Macaroni. What a great name. Hello, WH736. Hello, Lomanx4. Hello, Gone Hollow. Hello, Lop90 Full One. That's a key Spanish name if I ever heard one. Hello, Chev Stev. How we doing? Big Mac Makoto. Grenveld. The boys. Sin 0x414. Hello. Andrea, I was trying to find out where your name started and ended. Andrea Sharaminak, how we doing? Hello, the Anna Lloyd. Hello, Sukotsuto, our old friend. Hello, Wonchi. Why did I roll that W? How do you roll a W? Hello, Yaya Yonosei. How we doing? Hello, Smug Ryoko. Hello, Praya. Why am I rolling all these R's now? Hello, Pablo, our old friend as well. Let's see. Where are we up to? Hello, Delulu Dragon. Hello, Rinanishi. How we doing? For better or for worse. Hello, Mythonics. Hello, Callan Allen. How we doing? Hello, Death Simulacrum. Hello, Campy Clown. Hello, all dash Bonez Jones. How we doing? Hey, Bonesy man. How you doing? Sorry, I didn't see your message before. I was rambling. I'm gonna make an audiobook. Maybe I should at this point, huh? Hello, Your Band Spook. Hello, Your Band Spook. How you doing? Hello, Liquid Silica. Do you know they're adding a quick save to Termina? Oh, are they? That'd be useful. Hello. Is that everybody? Alpha Volta. Hello, why am I here? Hello, Krakiox. Hello, Mr. Nobody. Did I say you twice? I think I did. You can say that one for next time. Hello, Saint 8. Saint 8. Saint 8. Hello, Elist. Hello, Mervyn Fuentes. Hello, Schizo Sinkhole. So true. Have you watched Chiaki J. Konoka's other works like Technolize? No, I haven't actually. I really should. I've got so much on the list, you know. My list is massive. Hello, Nesiusu. Hello, Pickle Dasphalt. Pickled asphalt. That's interesting. How do you do that? Hello, Strawberry Nuke. Good to see you again. I recognise that profile picture. I had to go back profile pictures because YouTube kept changing what it would show. Like, it shows your raw channel names now. I probably shouldn't read them out. Hello, Swamp. Oh, you guys can see all that too, can't you? Yeah. Go for a punch. Isn't that the bar from Rona? Yes, it's my favourite. That's why we like seeing anime girls suffer. Swamper. Hello. Is that everybody? Did we catch up? Is everybody in chat now? Is everybody in chat now? Did I miss anybody? If I missed you, just say hi. You missed me. Streamer, you didn't say my name. Streamer. I don't mind if people say that. Because I like saying hello to you guys. Pedro Barrow, 29. How you doing? Lord Deep Dive on Pool Black Mall Cop. Look, it's in the works. Look, I didn't want to say anything, but yes, it's coming. If you're a member of the Patreon, then you'll see I've got a 5-hour deep dive on Pool Black Mall Cop and the secret analog horror series that's actually woven into that. It's pretty sick, but I didn't want to say anything, but look, the cat's out of the bag now, isn't it? Hi, you didn't miss me. It's a Mechanic Cat. You've been around for a while too, haven't you, Mechanic Cat? Tempest Menku. Hello, my favourite Droog. That's something I've got to rewatch sometime. That was an amazing movie, wasn't it? Apples, Bapples. How you doing? Zia, my name is silent. Oh, okay, Zempus Zemku. Squarebase, how we doing? Iron Morn, good to see ya. What's happening here? Well, I spent almost an hour just yapping, which I probably shouldn't have done. I was only supposed to stream for an hour, but I couldn't help myself. So, okay. Right, let's get into it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. I'm actually gonna shaking. I'm actually just sitting here to shake my desk. Is what I'm here to do. Okay, I'm sorry if you can hear me breathing, but that's part of the bit today. We're acting up. We're acting up. We're acting out. And we're LARPing. We are live action role playing. I was trying to remember what that dumb person said online. They thought it was. It was what was it? They got it wrong, and they thought LARPing was something completely different than what it was, and people dunked on them. Dragon Seducer. Whoa, buddy. Look, I've got some dragons I need seduced. Can you hit me up? I've got a. Look, I need some tips. I've got this really cute, cute dragon. I'm trying to look. We'll talk about it later. Okay, I don't want to say too much here. It's a family-friendly stream. Family-friendly stream. Okay. Laps. People, so look, I don't blame that person for not understanding what LARP means because nobody uses it right. Nobody uses it right on Twitter. They're like, oh, you got one minor factoid about the game wrong, you're a LARPer. And it's like, dude, I've got like 200 hours in this game. Like, what are you talking about? I've got every achievement in this game. I did every single ending. I collected every single item. What is going on? I am not a LARPer. But because I got one minor factoid wrong, it's like, oh, looks like we got ya. Actually, you got one minor factoid wrong, buddy. Oh, what's this? I spy a minor spelling mistake. Oh, looks like I win the argument, and I will collect my Reddit gold now. Thank you. Was that a good nerd voice? It's okay. We can work on that. It's a fungal. Yeah, I'm the. I should change my. I'll change my name to Mythonix LARPer Doog. How you doing? Fantasy. Got my celery sticks and orange juice. Let's game. Let's go. Nothing family friendly happens in Prehevil. That's true. LARPing severely. I'm diagnosed with a severe LARPing. The only way to cure it is to watch the anime I'm LARPing about. Pajak Bejaja. That's an interesting name. Many LARPers accuse you of being a LARPer. Real ones give you grace. That's actually very true. That is very true. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody who I know for a fact is like super into a game calling someone a LARPer. You know. LARPonics. There it is. That's a good one. All right. You might see my channel name update. You might need to refresh the page, but I'm about to change my name to LARPthonics. Unfortunately, you spelled high wrong. I won. Literally cannot make projects in the dumb game no matter how hard I try. Both games. Yes, they're very tough. They're a game of memory. That's secretly what they are, which is very ironic because the game doesn't tell you anything about its history. So, it's great. Okay. Usually veterans are just happy new people are getting into their stuff. Well, now let's not go too far, the guy. Okay? Let's not go that far. We do need to gatekeep. And in fact, everybody in chat, can you actually do me a big favor? Now, this is a test for you guys. I need you guys to open up Steam and show me your Fear and Hunger and Termina playtimes. Add them together. And if it's less than, let's say an hour, all up for both games, then you're banned. Okay? So we'll do that right now. What do you reckon, guys? We'll ban everybody who hasn't even opened the games. Who basically hasn't even opened the games, right? I think that'd be good. I LARP Termina, not gonna. Why are there so many of you that haven't played it? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 43 hours. There we go. Look. Urban Spook is less of a LARPer than you. Are you going to let that stand? Are you going to let that stand? Guys, come on. Come on. What's up? What's going on, guys? I thought you know what? I trusted you, and look, you've let me down. Look, and you let me, and you know what? You know what's even worse? I could handle that. I'm a tough guy, you know. I'm used to disappointment, right? I'm used to it. That's how fucked up my life has been, okay? But you know who else you let down? Miro. You let Miro down. And look, I don't know about you, but I think he's a sensitive guy. And maybe that's why he's spending so long on the update. It's because he wants it to be perfect for you guys. And then, look, I'm trying not to tear up here just thinking about it. He's trying to make it perfect so you'll actually play it. And you haven't even played it yet. Wow. So next time you got a moment to yourself and you want to play a game, then just think of Miro crying all the way up in his shack in Finland. In his shack that has, no, the windows are broken. There's holes through it all. You know, it's a single ply. He's got like a curtain for a door. This is how poor the man is. And some of you haven't even bought the game. So look, if every one of you that buys Termina and Fear and Hunger is one more meal for Miro, you too can support a poor Finnish boy in his dream of becoming a game developer. In his poor little shack, frozen little shack, with his exploding laptop in the middle of Finland. You can help him for just, how much is the game actually? What's it? $10 US. It's about 10. See, it's only a couple. It's like maybe $1. It's $17 Australian. So, look, you can do that. You can afford that. Just don't have your avocado toast this week. You know, don't go out to your fancy restaurant and have your avocado toast and your lattes. You know, just put someone else ahead of yourself just once. You know, that's all it takes. And then all of your sins from the past have been forgiven. That's a fact. You can take that one to the bank. So do that for me, and do that for Miro, and more importantly, do that for yourself. Describing my house. Well, who's more important? Who's more important, you or Miro? You know? Doesn't even know the price, LARP. I don't know the price in every region, so I'm LARPing. Termina update halted at one point because the laptop died. He lost a month worth of work, and he said that it's been fixed so now. Some people bring that up for the reason that it's taken so long, and it's not really. So, Little Birdie told me the update's coming out on the same day as Half-Life 3. Yes, it is. Spent more time being an emotional support for my friend playing it, and watching him walk confident into bear traps. LARP does not mean live action roleplay. No, yes, it does. But somebody got it wrong. I can't remember what they said though. So didn't even know the price. I didn't. Okay. What are we doing? So you may sense I'm being a little silly today, and that's intentional. I have more energy. Like I was saying before, because of my meds, I have like way more energy, and it's been a couple months now, maybe longer. And if it was going to mess up and like crash, it would have by now. So I'm just juiced up, you know. I have boundless energy. I am Icarus with his wax wings, and I will never die. No matter how high I fly, I will never come crashing to the earth. And that's a fact, because it's been 2 months and it hasn't happened. Where is my chat? Why is my chat not here? Hang on, I'm setting up I should have set all this stuff up, but I'm just silly. I'm just a silly boy, is what I am. Hang on, is that just YouTube? I think that was just YouTube. Is this one, everybody? Well, only YouTube's talking, so that's fine. That's fine. I'm just being a silly boy. Okay. Is Kaiser on the Nilvan? No, we're not getting into that. No. Just 2 more weeks. Wow. Termina gameplay. Just a week away. What does it mean to LARP in Prehevil? Okay, so I LARP a game using your videos. Thank you. You're welcome. Nice to see you back with energy for content. Yes, that's why I stopped streaming, because I was like, I just don't have the energy for it, and I don't want to do miserable streams, you know. And what's the point of streaming if you guys aren't going to come here and have a good time? It just feels bad for everybody then, and that's why I stopped, because it was just really bad content. Whereas with making videos, you can work when you have the energy, but on stream it's like, no, you got to go, right? You got to go. So that's why I'm pushing myself now to be a bit more energetic, but I'm still having fun. I'm using that energy, right? We should drop Prehevil Nights as a consolation prize. We might be getting it. He said he's working on it. I don't know. When he said it wasn't in the update, that was ages ago. And he does change his mind sometimes, so I wouldn't say definitely, but it's gone from definitely no to there's a slim chance. So with Miro, I wouldn't bet on anything. You know, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't bet on anything unless he has literally shown it in the game, you know. So just like hearing your voice is relaxing. Good Lord. Dragon seducer. Are you seducing me? Am I a dragon? That would explain a lot, actually. Okay. Let's get in character. So today, what we're doing is we're LARPing in Prehevil. It only took us an hour to get here. Wow, okay. We're LARPing in Prehevil. So, what that means is there's a couple of characters I want to play as. And I'll set them up. I've got them. I had to use cheats, and I'll go into that as we play. Because in order to give people abilities in the game, it's like you can't just save at it and give someone an ability because of how the saves work. It's really complicated, and I had to use a mod that just gives me all the abilities on every character, which means it's going to be a bit broken, but that's fine. We're here for fun. We're not here for a balanced gameplay. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see in the description there is a link to the mods I use for that. So if you wanted to, cheat, use crazy mods, do whatever, there's a really good one down there that you can have a look at. So. Have a quick sip. So, what we're doing today is we are playing as certain characters. Now, oh no, a lore question. Hey, Dear Heart's Wish, good to see you again. Dear Heart's Wish, of course, did some art for my second channel, Emmy. Great artist. Good to see you again, Emmy. Glad to see you around. Would you say logic is different from any of the two god groups? Yes. Just very briefly, yes. Go watch my logic. I won't go on another hour-long lore rant, but yes, logic is not an ascended god, an old god, or a new god. Very different. Go watch my logic video. I go into it extremely in depth there, in probably a much better argument than I could make live now, because it's been a while since I've looked at that script and remember that argument. Yes. So today we're playing characters, and if you remember the thumbnail, so the thumbnail we had. Oh god, how do I not remember the thumbnail? I just did it. Needles. We had Perkele, and we had Daan. There's a reason I chose those three, which I may not be able to deliver, but we'll give it a go. If it sucks, then we'll just die and move on to the next one. So I want to try and voice what I think Daan would be like. That's sort of not like a perfect voice, because he's like a vague mix of European stuff. He's born in the Netherlands, but he probably doesn't have a Dutch accent, and he's moved around a lot, and he ended up in England since he was young, but he was all around Europe, so he'd have a very odd accent, and I'm not going to try an accent, but more the tone, the tempo, the depressed state, but like trying to be witty but kind of failing, like that. With, you know what, I won't tell you what I'm going to do with the other ones, because we'll get to that. You'll have to watch. You'll have to wait and see. So I was just going to tell you, but I realized on the spot, it keeps people engaged when you promise them something later. So, top three Termina impressions. Number 1 will blow your mind, but first, Daan. I practice these a little bit, but probably not as much as I should have. I didn't have much time. I wanted to base Daan off of Sweeney Todd, so I rewatched Sweeney Todd last night. Then I was exhausted and passed out, and then when I got up, I just jumped up and straight away got set up for stream, so I really haven't had time to practice. But, will Al Oni make an appearance in the next Free and Hungry? Absolutely, yes. Okay. Dan. We're being depressed, aren't we? Being depressed and a little snappy. Just a little snappy. Let's put a little purr in there. Would he have a little purr? Not really. He wouldn't have much purr, I think. You know who will have purr? Will be Perkele. Perkele will have a lot of purr. I'll probably do Perkele a bit like this. But Daan Daan is a bit more flat, isn't he? Will this make for a fun stream, do you think, talking like a bit flatter? Meow. Wait, no, Daan would have purr, wouldn't he? Because he's Pocket Cat. Of course he'd have a bit of purr in there. Okay. We can add a little bit of purr, like that. How does that sound? Daan might have a sort of passive desensation in his voice. You just summon the voice of a depressed furry. Look, I'm going to be real. I kind of don't want to do that. Look, there are furries. Hang on, let me talk like that. There are furries all around us, but the thing is, they don't tell you. It's a secret. So, you don't know until they reveal it. Like Daan and Pocket Cat, he was secretly a furry the whole time. And, just a little je ne sais quoi. Which character will be picked for this run? So Daan will I'll just straight up be Daan. So I'm gonna keep that one simple. I'm gonna keep that one pretty simple. Let me switch to, oh, hang on. There we go. I'll get my pose right. I'll get real for a moment. Okay. Let's look at the game. So I need to just check that some of these saves were actually, because some of them I did edit the save, and I just need to check that they worked properly. There should be. I have so many saves in this game. Okay, here we go. Maybe they didn't. Hang on. We'll see that when we come. We'll see that when we come to it. That's okay. They're for later. They're for the Perkele and the Needles run. So, because I wanted to give them items too, and spells. So, okay, let's go. New game, and we'll go Daan. We'll go Dan, and we'll just go Dan's. Danza. Dan's. Danzig. Look, for this first run, we'll keep it a bit simpler. For the later runs, I want to do Masso because it's funnier. No, you know what? We'll do Masso for this one too. Why not? Let's have fun, huh? Yeah. Perkele is yes, it is a Finnish swear for devil. Skip the character history? No. Let's get into character. The soothing sounds of the rail tracks. You're not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. Hey, Oxic, how you doing? You can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce about what has led you to this point in life. Since you were a toddler, you've been travelling around Europa with your parents. Your parents were devout followers of the older god of fertility and creation, Sylvian. Because of the nature of Sylvian's cult, in each new town you'd witness your parents putting on their rabbit masks and heading to the meadows naked with all the other cult members. You hated this life. Your parents would be more concerned on the matters of religion than you. To make it worse, they even tried to pass on the healing gift of Sylvian to you. So some people suggest that Dan was abused as a child because of that, and because of what the healing gifts of Sylvian generally entail. In the games, of course, they are just merely magic spells. You know, you wiggle your fingers and say some whispers and people get healed up, but, well, we see what the magic of Sylvian looks like when you actually see it in person with the bunny cults, right? In reality, it might be a little more physical. So, well, let's continue. Oh, I was about to explain something that's about to happen in this story. From very early on, you learned that no gift comes without a price. With Sylvian's gift of healing, you saw how the mental state of your parents deteriorated over time. They spent longer and longer times in the meadows until one day they never returned. You were 13 years of age and alone in the kingdoms of Rondon. You had to do something for a living. Let's go. Honest work. How does honest? What would Dan actually do? Is he a good boy or is he a bad boy? I think he'd probably be a bad boy, wouldn't he? Because he's had a kind of messed up childhood. We'll go try to be it. But he hated that life too, didn't he? So he'd want to push against it. We'll push against it. I think he's in his heart. It's a struggle, right? So hang on. I am Dan. My life is a struggle. But what is the struggle if you give in? Then there is no struggle. So it's a struggle when you fight back. And Dan and I fight back so much. Maybe eventually I'll succumb to it, but I'm still alive right now. I still have hope. So honest work. I try to find honest work. My life is like a video game. Trying hard to beat the stage. All the while, still collecting coins. Imagine be a bit neutral. Whatever pays the bills, but he draw the line somewhere, right? Yeah. Light side points attained. A butler of a local aristocrat took you under his wing as an apprentice. You started work for the Baron Einheer von Dutch. Fake fan of it, Masso. Look, not many people have. I've beaten it. Have I beaten it? I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe. You learned good manners, grew up to appreciate fine arts and other perks that high-class living brought along. Over time, you got better acquainted with the daughter of the house. Her name was Elise. She would be endlessly amused by your childhood stories and all that madness your past cult life brought with it. The Baron himself learned of your upbringing as well and was fascinated by Sylvian and her healing properties. The Baron used to work as a doctor and he had very different concepts for healing and mending wounds. He taught you about the modern medical practices in exchange for your knowledge on the older god of Sylvian. To be honest, his thirst for otherworldly knowledge felt a bit obsessive. He taught you how you cannot cure symptoms without giving something in return. Something to heal, something of equal value must be lost. Continue studies to learn more, I think. Yeah. You learn to analyze. What's that one? I don't recall. Oh, I think that one lets you analyze the bodies after they're dead. Oh, it's kind of useless, whatever. The most important... Well, the other one's useless too, either, because you sacrifice a limb to gain your allies back, so they're both useless for Maso. The most important thing learned is that you trade your life, yourself, and the practice of medicine. That is the price to save the life of others. As time went on, you became an item with Elise. Everything fell into place very naturally, and even the Baron gave you his blessing, despite your background being anything but noble. Hey, Woozle, man, how you doing? Good to see you. Jeez, how do I shout out Woozle_channel? We're doing... Did that even work? I don't even know if the shout out commands even work anymore. Do slash... Oh, yes, there it is. Shout out. Woozle-chan. Woozle-chan, there we go. Oh, should I play Look Outside here? Yes, it's very good. The only reason I haven't done a video on it is because it's very complicated. How are we doing, guys? We're playing some Fear and Hunger, and I'm pretending to be Dan. We're a bit more quiet at this point. Because we're reminiscing at the moment, so we're being, calm and sad. Once we get into the game, we're going to be a bit more hectic because it's Maso mode, and I'm going to die very frequently. So, it is how it is. Poor Dan, what a sad story. Yes, I guess he is a very sad boy, isn't he? But yes, how you doing, guys? How you doing? I hope you're having fun. Because we're not having fun here. No, I'm joking, we are. For the first time in your life, everything felt just right. But that wouldn't last for long, as something terrible had been brewing in Eastern Europe for a good while. We're doing ending B. We're not getting an ending. It's not happening, so... The conflict between the Eastern Union and the Bremen Empire had dragged every neighbouring country into... I'm still in Fear and Hunger 1 mode. Every neighbouring country to take part in hostilities, and the Kingdom of Rondon was no exception. The kingdom was enlisting all able-bodied men to the front lines, and you had no choice but to pack your bags and join the Great War. Because of your knowledge in medicine, you were given an option. Join the army as a medic, or pick up a gun and join as an infantry trooper. Well, obviously we'll be a medic, won't we? You're given a scalpel, light blue vial, and pep pills. Wish I had pep pills. That's basically what I'm on. Yeah, that's what I'm on now, right? The war was cruel and inhumane. You had to take part in countless things better left unspoken. The only thing that kept you going was the thought of your new family waiting back for you at home. Every night you'd read letters from home and fall asleep to a photograph of Elise. One day, the letters ended. It was natural for letters to get lost in the chaos, but you couldn't help your ominous feeling. So when the Kingdom of Rondon finally withdrew from the war, you rushed straight back home as fast as possible. The manor of Von Dutch was lifeless and dark on that gloomy day. You stormed through the countless rooms, but couldn't find a soul in sight. That was until you found the basement door partly open. In the darkness, you could only tell apart the silhouette of a person who had died standing in the middle of swirling ritual circles. That person was Einherr von Dutch himself. He had died on the spot from what seemed like self-inflicted wounds and cuts. Each corner of the basement had sacrificial gifts to an old god, unknown. Your heart sank as you recognized just who was the main sacrifice of this maddening rite. You tried to save Elise with any means necessary. You tried to exchange vital parts of yourself for the life of her, but it didn't work. You tried unspeakable methods for days, but it was all in vain. She was too far gone. A cult had completely swallowed the Baron while you were away, and you could only guess what he tried to accomplish with his unholy ritual. Upon searching through the Baron's documents, you noticed a certain place mentioned frequently, time and time again. A town called Prehevil in the country of Bohemia. The place had something to do with the beliefs of the Baron, and maybe there you'd at least find some sense to this madness. It wouldn't bring back your old life, but frankly, you had nothing else going for you. Only this small clue on what took everything away from you. Answers. That was enough of a reason to get you back on the road. How did you prepare for your trip? Well, he'd probably stock up on maybe alcohol, huh? I feel like he'd probably stock up on alcohol at this point, wouldn't he? You managed to find a bottle of beer and a bottle of vodka. The LARP is to live, so true. It's been a long and mentally taxing travel to this point. You hope that whatever you find from this small town could give you at least some closure to your sorrow. We better save here, actually, because we're playing Le Masochism mode. Skip the intro. Yeah, intro's not that important. If you die in the intro, you just get saved anyway, don't you? Yeah. Wake up suddenly. Was it all a dream? I should speak from first person, shouldn't I? It stopped. Where is everybody? How much should I be in character? Should I just full on LARP? Might be funny. Let's see. Maybe there's something good here. Mushroom stew. I've never had a mushroom stew before. Well, Dan would probably have I probably would have had a whole bunch of very nice foods over the years, wouldn't I? Recently bought the second game. Well, I'm glad. Lock in. Coins, huh? Better find some use for that. Huh. Maybe I should examine that luggage over there. But the train ride to Prehevil did feel comfy. Those seats look extra comfy. Yeah, they do look pretty good. Is he reading this chat? Dan reading the chat. He is reading the chat. It's sensing it. He's sensing it in his head. Find a bottle of beer. Huh. That'll taste pretty good soon. Zero Woodsman. He did. Resting. Just need to clear out the papers. Combat manual. I kind of don't need a combat manual. Do I have any books? Do I? No, okay. So did the cheat work? Yes, awesome, okay. The cheat worked, and I've got okay. I have every single skill because for my other playthroughs, I wanted to give the other characters certain abilities. So when I'm playing as Perkele, I wanted the rare abilities, but there is no way just to give a specific ability. It's either all or nothing. So that's what we're doing. I wonder what this does. No, we'll do that later. And if you want to do that yourself in your own playthrough, in the YouTube description, I have linked a direct link to the specific mod I use for that. So that's right. We're going to cheat. When I first heard your voice, it reminded me of a Triple J presenter. Really? That's pretty funny. Okay, let's see before we go outside, what equipment do we have? Nothing. Okay. Welcome back to Triple J. I haven't listened to Triple J in like a decade. Last time I did, they were playing the absolute worst rap I've ever heard in my life. It was like Australian rap. It was just, I can pick up all like the lavender and stuff. I won't do that though. We'll be fair. We'll be nice. Okay. So let's go. Okay, so we're playing on Maso mode. That means very soon we're going to catch the attention. Hang on. Let me do this I'll do it in character. We'll go, which way we go? We go this way. And we're not playing optimally, we're playing fun. What would Dan do? These mushrooms look pretty good. Maybe I can eat them later. Or even turn them into a stew. Use them as crafting resources. Looks pretty useful. The moon god has noticed you. It feels a little creepy here. The moon from up above is looking down. I need to get inside real quick. Good. Okay. I feel a little bit safer in here. I have a feeling that if the moon god notices me, then that's probably something really bad. And I don't want to find out what that is. That terrifying moon up ahead, gazing down. Glass shards that might be useful in combat. Maybe I can throw them at enemies. Moon god has noticed you guys insanely high. It really does, doesn't it? I wonder if there's any useful books here. Book of Enlightenment. Look, I'm really trying hard to keep character here. But that is like a Book of Enlightenment. So, what does that do? Book of Enlightenment. Mysterious ancient book radiating warm light. It's said to be written by the monks beyond the eastern sanctuaries. I have a feeling that book is going to save my life at one point. You playing it? New update came out? No, I don't think this area has changed in some time. Maybe there's something in the fridge that would be useful. Something sticky and yellow seeping from inside. Well, maybe it's something useful. A terrible stench. You find white vial. That's disgusting. What is a white vial? A vial full of white-coloured liquid. Works as an antidote for poisoning. I'm using my medical knowledge to know that. Finding a late game item for a second. Yeah. You search the barrel for anything useful. Meat pie. Okay. So, we have the moon god is gazing down upon me from outside. There's an axe-wielding madman out there too, cutting up his fellow residents of the city. Probably do the same to me. So, I have to run. I have to run into the city to get out of this hellhole. My mind is draining like crazy. Just go. Just go. Get away from me, you freak. Can't run so hard. Okay. Ooh. The moon god is screaming. I can quickly search for items. Duct tape, yes. Ooh, let's get inside. And it reeks in here. Have you already lost 10 mind? It's the gaze of the moon sky. The moon god is strong. His power. It's splitting my mind at the seams. That's all I can do to barely hold on in this town. Ooh, I'm really not in a safe spot here. Okay, so what do I need to do? I'm prescient, by the way. I know what you need to do. I need to get those keys, don't I? So, one key is in the mayor's manor. We can do that one first, and then the other key is in the bunker to the west. Now, there is a terrible monster down there. CHADnaur, the mutated Abella, lurks down there. And if I go down there, I have to run very, very fast because she'll get me otherwise. It's probably better to do that last. In case I get caught, I might be a bit better equipped by then. So we'll go do the mayor's manor first and we can pick up some good items. And the only person we have to avoid, there's just a couple of easy to avoid enemies on the way. That shouldn't be so bad. Okay, good. We have a plan. Whew, Dan, we have a plan. And we run this way. Okay, we go inside. Because it takes time for the moon god to notice you. Oh, we'll pick up some glass as well. That seems like it'll be useful. And some... Oh, no, the radio. No. Downstairs. Okay. What the hell was that thing? Ooh. Some nightmare comes out of the radio. Bookshelf. Skin Bible, Venushka. Oh. We could use that if we go back to the Woodsman's house. We can use that to get Pinecone Pig. That might actually be really useful. We might do that after the mayor's manor. We'll loop back down that way. I wonder if we'll have enough time with the Gaze of Rare though, because it's really not that long. And we'll unlock this. Okay, good. Now we can come back around here, and we can avoid very carefully. There's people around here. Go. We go pop in here. Okay. And I don't think we have any money yet. So we have 10 shillings. Okay. Can we buy anything? Buddy, What's happening in this town? Here. Welcome to my shop. Man appears to be holding something that resembles a baby, but it looks like a doll on closer look. Other than that, he doesn't seem that off-putting. What you gonna be? 10 shillings. Okay, so we have cloth fragments. We'll probably need that. Bullets. I don't have a gun. Blue vial will be useful. Meat pie. We might wait a little bit. Oh, we'll need chalk, won't we? We can't draw any ritual circles without chalk, so we might need that. We'll save our money for now because we might need to buy chalk and a cloth fragment because getting bleed is very, very common. Very common. Okay, so we'll save our money for that. Yes, I don't have any chalk yet, do I? This is Masso, by the way, so brave enough to do deep woods. Oh, we could do deep woods. Ah! Oh, almost got me. Almost got me. Okay, let's go. Go down. Ooh. Okay. We'll go up this way. Okay. Oh. What's that sparkling? Lucky coin. Well, probably should hold on to that. White vial. Meat pie. You know, the people of Prehevil have a real tendency to leave meat pies around, huh? What's in here? Ooh, chest. Must be something valuable in here. I can use my new lucky coin. Find a Bremen chest plate. Why do they have military equipment sitting around here? Well, I'm not going to ask too many questions about that. Hello, Runji. How you doing? Anything useful? Alchemilia Volume 2. Well, I'm not sure how much I believe in alchemy, but excuse me. Intermediate level, Volume 2. Effects of different coloured alchemical substances are listed here. Yellow plus oil, highly flammable. I can think of a few things to do with that. Blue and fly amanita, antidote for the poison. Is it worth trading a blue vial for that, though? Golden chanterelle plus golden chanterelle, nutritious liquid. Interesting. Well, we'll hold on to that. Saw blade. Bless you, mate. How you doing? Let's go. Let's go down here. Another bookshelf. These books are in a pretty bad condition. Find occult grimoires. And, a spare arm. Well, you never know, right? Bone saw. Alright. Well, if people are cutting limbs off already, maybe that's something we'll have to do. Wooden chest. Well, I don't want to use my last lucky coin for this, so we'll see. Oh, lucky 12. Look, luck's really smiling on me today. But you know what they say. There's a lot of give and a lot of take. Luck's gonna run out soon, huh? Need to find some ammo for that. Look, I'm not sure I want to partake in any occult rituals now. Yes, we're having something called streamer luck. I'm sure that refers to fishermen in the stream. How your friend always has a story about being lucky. Streamer luck. Yes, we're doing Masso mode. And we're looking around. I'm being Dan. I want that glass. Nothing in here for us, huh? We'll keep an eye out. What's down here? Lockpicking. Oh, I have lockpicking, but I don't have lockpicking. Mushroom stew. Rotten meat. Matches. Let's go back inside for a second and reset our gaze of rare, huh? Shotgun and Bremen chest plate in the basement. How paranoid was his homeowner? Yeah. Looks like a real, what do they call them? What's the name of those people that, like, He's a survivalist. Well, it didn't do him too much good in the apocalypse, huh? Thought you hated Maso mode? Well, I do, but I want to die fast today. Fear is getting a hold of you. Let's open this wooden chest quickly. Quickly. Doomsday prepper, that's it. Chest is empty. Okay. Just my luck, huh? Maybe we're starting to run out. Let's go inside. Really quick. Oh, we need to find a way to... Who's this guy? Good afternoon, mister. From what I understand, you are a newcomer to this town, no? We just got a new mayor to the old town. I'm sure he's thrilled to start his business immediately by meeting the newcomers. Please, he's waiting in the dining room. Well, maybe we should go meet him, huh? Dirty toilet paper. Disgusting. That's really disgusting. Hello. Staying since the Fear and Hunger 2. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad about that. You know, I don't want to go in there just yet. I get a creepy vibe from it, but let's go this way. Let's meet the mayor first up, huh? Now, because this is Maso mode, we don't have any companions. Not real companions, at least. And eventually, we probably have to kill everybody. But I will probably die if I try to kill somebody right now. So, let's do it. No. We'll sit down first and we'll make sure to gear up. Newcomer, isn't it peaceful here? What sort of voice would he have? Newcomer, isn't it peaceful here? Like a creepy British one, I think. That's what he feels like to me. I know Henrik is like, well, no, he is English, isn't he? Isn't he? Hang on, let me just quickly see where Henrik's from. I've forgotten where some of the, because they have different names anyway. WikiGG. Yeah, Rondon. I thought he was from Rondon. Yeah. So we'll give him a big British guy. A big British brute, because he looks sort of British now. He'd probably have Henrik would have a fancier voice because he's a chef, right? So he'd have a bit of a fancier voice, probably a bit of a lighter voice. Very delicate way of speaking. Or maybe like just Gordon Ramsay, you know. Because he kind of looks a little bit like Gordon Ramsay, doesn't he? But for this guy now, he's transformed. I want to, but it would be good to give him like a fancy voice too, wouldn't he? Because he's supposed to be like that real juxtaposition. How about someone who is rough but trying to sound fancy? That might be better. We'll try that. You know, I'm not a voice actor. I'm not an expert here, but we'll give it a go. Newcomer, isn't it peaceful here? Let's go that. Fuck it. Let's go that. I'm glad to see you're not a complete. Let's make it rougher. What am I doing? I'm glad to see you're not a complete uni yet, unlike some of those others. You saw those people, didn't you? Scottish because he's moon scorched. One can only wonder what happened to the folks around these parts. They've drifted far from humanity. Only thing they seem interested in is scavenging the scraps around the old town. Someone, Monster Mouth Gordon Ramsay, who sounds like he's a sock stuff. I'll do this like a rough guy, but he's making a point to pronounce his words properly. They've drifted far from humanity. Only thing they seem interested in is scavenging the scraps from around Old Town. How am I to have an in-depth discussions with them? I want to talk about poetry, music, and culinary arts. What happened here? We're in the same boat here, my friend. I don't have the answers. I heard the Bremen military meddled with something. Some say the moonlight scorched this earth into something unrecognisable. And the town folk say it's always been this way. Newcomer, you haven't touched the food yet. These are rare delicacies you can only find in Prehevil. I've travelled from afar just to experience them. Pick these, for example. Don't they look absolutely delicious? Use your imagination. Food can be as inspiring as the highest forms of painted art or the most complicated musical arrangements. What comes to your mind when you look at these dangling beauties? Dan would not be having a fun time here, would he? This poor dude. Ugh, disgusting. I can't say that because he'll kill me. The duality of the mind. Now you're just showing off. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you even taking this seriously? Let's see. Yes. What about this squirmy little thing? What comes to your mind? Snakes. Slithering on the ground. Yes. The deceiving one. Top 10 must try Prehevil dishes. Number 1. Prehevil snakes. This one is my favourite. This peculiar fungus. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Family. We do not talk about family on this table. The atmosphere just became very cold. I don't know about you, but I'm full. I thank you for the company. From what I understand, you are needed in the city. I do have the key, however. I have one last question. Do you support the Bremen army? Are you a man, a Kaiser, so to speak? I'm sitting there with a trench gun and wearing a Bremen chest plate. Well, I fought against the Bremen army, actually. Ha! Ha! Yes. You have my support. Here. The key is yours. Got the lion brass key. The other key is with the army, I'm afraid. Please be discreet. I do not wish to start trouble with the Kaiser. Do not mention my part in this. Okay. Well, that was certainly one of the most interesting dinners I've had. Would you mind if I pinched his 2 shillings from the cupboard there? What is this key? Let's have a look-see. Is it just in items? A brass key with a crude insignia of a 2-tailed lion that is a symbol of Prehevil. That 2-tailed lion symbol actually pops up quite a bit if you're paying close attention. But of course we are not this stream, and my mind is so very, very low. I think it's time to start drinking. What do we say, lads? How about a vodka to wash down dinner? Barrels are also lootable, yes, but I don't feel like sticking my hand in one. What I do feel like sticking my hand in, though, is this priest. Just kidding. I'm out of here. Good lord. That looks exactly like the magic I found in the basement. What is happening in this city? A priest with carvings all over his body in a swirling ritual circle. I think I came to the right place. But for now, we cheat. Leather armor, which I don't need. Mana key, wooden chest. Oh. Well, I'm starting to believe in the supernatural now, so let's have a quick prayer to Allmere before we open this, huh? Priest is a beginner's trap, total run ender? Absolutely. They are mean this early. We have a little prayer to Allmere again, and well, looks like Allmere's not listening today, huh? Look, I'm not even going to look closely at those things, to be honest. Let's see. Is that food? Potatoes and lettuce is no use. Let's have a look, huh? Food storage of Old Town. The entire Old Town, huh? Well, I suppose it's not crazy to think that the mayor would have his own stash of food to help everybody out in times of crisis. Looks like someone tried to cook something here, but they weren't too successful. I wonder who that was then. Crates are full of random food items. Find paprika. Or maybe we can do something with that, huh? Golden chanterelle. egg, lavender. Can I cook anything? Can I actually cook anything? No, it's this one. No, this one. Oh, they gave me all this. For some reason, as soon as I entered this city, I felt like I was good at, well, everything. I can craft weapons, armors, items. Well, there you go. Look, I'm tired of running and hiding in this place. I'm tired of these weird freaks. I have the mayor's manor key, so that's fine. That counts. Empty. Okay, that's it. That's it. You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna rest happy. I'm not gonna rest easy until this freak is dead. So let's have a little beer to ease my mind. Let's just get into it, huh? Let's just fight him. Let's just kill this guy. Did I find any ammo? I don't think I did. Okay, we're getting straight into it. We're just gonna do it. I didn't find anything else. Okay. Priest makes the sign of the cross with his hands moving from one shoulder to another, then his stomach, finally his forehead. Your God won't help you here. His eyes show great determination and belief in butchering you like a pig. Your threats have no effect. Okay. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-oh. 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 Yes, use a lucky coin to get past this. I don't want to die here. I don't want to die here. Oh. Okay. Let's take out this arm. Let's get rid of it. Stop him from casting that. How much health does his arm have? I'm dead. I'm so dead. Only please, only please, only please. Oh. Okay. 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 Can we take out his other arm now? Can we do that? Is there any items we can... Light blue... Okay, we have a light blue vial. We can fully heal with that. Oh. I can't even... Guarding didn't even protect me from that, so I should just blindly attack him. It's just a frenzy now. He's so strong though. If that sets me on fire, I think it's going to just straight up kill me. If I can even survive his grasp, though I've cut up his arm. Analyze won't do anything here. It's the other one which I haven't fairly unlocked, so I don't want to. I think I just have to try my hardest and pray. Oh, why is he so strong? Okay. Okay, so that's most of his damage. That's most of his damage. Oh, I think it's attached to that arm. Okay. Okay, so let's just attack his body. Can I like set him on fire or anything? Oh, I can throw the saw blade and make him bleed, can't I? Okay. It didn't make him bleed. Okay. I think I'm just dead. The priest with no arms. He's gonna tackle me to death. Okay, do I have any healing? No, I have Loving Whispers. I have Loving Whispers. I can do that. Okay. I'm not gonna make it. You'll make it. Okay. Oh. One more. Almost done. Almost done. Oh. It was foolish of me to do that, but... Soulstone. What is that? Use necromancy. That's right, I have necromancy. Medical diagnosis. We can use that. The skin of the priest is cracking. This is no ordinary dry skin. Looks like some kind of external force has slowly withered the priest's looks, but they look different than everybody else outside. Other than that, and the sunken glassy eyes, he seems to be in relatively normal condition. His body seems to be vulnerable to piercing attacks, and his clothing will easily catch fire. Well then, I want this guy's head. Oh, hello, emo lover. Okay. Right. Now that's done. One less evil in this town. Maybe this time I'm a bit closer to finding out what's happening, huh? For now, though. Skills. Loving whispers. And then we'll go. Healing. I want... Oh, do I even have any mind healing? I have lavender. Can I make something with the lavender, actually? Because I have Alchemilia, don't I? No, I can't. I don't have the right book for it. I don't know what to do with it. I think I need Alchemilia 1 for that. And I've got the second book. That's okay, that's okay. Healing. We'll just do a little bit. Okay. But newcomer. The other key is with the army, I'm afraid. So you've decided to play by their rules. This is how you repay my kindness. Right. As there is no forgiving, do not act this way on a candlelit dinner. I'll shove that fork down your throat. I'll shove that fork down your throat. Acting like a big mob boss, are we? Don't make me laugh. Maybe I can fit that knife down there while I'm at it. We got a tough guy here. Despite his words, the gentleman seems nervous. Okay. Let's take out his... Well, they're all bad. Let's take out his knife first so he doesn't slice and dice me. Gentleman make a gurgling sound. How do you make a gurgling sound? Oh, it's over. It's so over. I think I bit off more than I could chew here. Oh. Okay. Well, I can heal up using loving whispers. Okay. Yes, this late in the day, this late in the festival, everybody. Oh, it's over, lads. I gave it my best shot. But guess I'm never going to find out what happened to Elise. Goodbye, dear. Dan was defeated. It's over. Surprisingly accurate to how Dan would talk accent and all, you think? Okay. So, that was Dan. Okay. Now we want to do something a bit different. Now I don't know if the save files worked properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It should be these two, but they're not. They look different. And I wonder if it's because they keep the files slightly different. We'll try loading this one. And maybe it'll... Yes, okay, good, it worked. Perfect. Okay, so now... Actually, I don't want this one. I want to save that one for last because I have something funny for that one. So next I want to do... Where were we? Up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Okay. Look, I'm going to take a really short break. I will be right back. I just need to run to the little boy's room. So I'll be right back. Okay. Yes, we're back now. Yes, okay. So now we're going to, we're playing as Perkele. No, that's a bit too much in there, isn't it? We're playing as Perkele. Perkele. Who's creepy. He's a bit of a Tumblr sexy man, if I do say so. So, hang on, let me move this. That's better. So, he's got a little bit of, you know, he's got a knife on him. He's got a little bit of edge to him, doesn't he? And he's the sort of guy who, you know, how do we describe Perkele, actually? He's the sort of guy who's probably going to kill you, and you think you might want him to. So every clown has either King Candy voice or Skeletor. No, we're not going to go that. We're going to go like full, kind of suave, evil, Tumblr sexy man is what we're going to do. So what is. Can I think of any examples for that? There must be a million, but I just can't, off the top of my head, I just can't think of any examples. That's really annoying. You know, the sort of character that would exist in, like a Visipop or something, you know. Really whiny voice. You know what, we'll do the intro and we'll talk to Perkele and we'll get his voice there. Okay, so we won't skip the intro. And we'll do that and we'll just die straight away. The Onceler? Ah, yeah, a bit more evil than the Onceler. Exactly. Actually, I don't remember what it says. Okay, so we got Officer Sword. What am I doing? Check. Okay, and again, we've got all the skills here, but we're only going to be using. Okay, so Perkele has Meteor Storm. He has Lunar Meteorite, so the 2 meteorite spells from Rare. He also has Hurting and Black Orb, so we can use them as well, but we'll probably just stick to the rare ones because it's funny. So, obnoxious finished voice. I don't know how to do a finished voice, actually. More evil than the Onceler? Definitely. That's right, there's you can't run in the intro for some reason, which is pretty funny. How bad can I be? Pretty yellow Perkele, yes. I figure Osar, since Perkele is very magic based, I figured Osar was appropriate for that. Okay. Let's just, if we just... No, I think we have to not fight him. I think. We have to escape him, I think, this is to see Perkele. Actually, I don't recall. I don't usually fight this guy. Are you retarded or what? Why the hell are you playing their games? No, he'd have like a Middle Eastern accent, wouldn't he? Because he's from there. From the Eastern Sanctuaries. Jeez, am I allowed to do that? Would people kill me if I did that? Probably. So I won't try to do accents. Unless it's English. I'm allowed to do an English accent. Okay. Let's go up here. Whoa! I'm out of here. I don't want to do your stinking... Ah! Get away from me, you creep. You disgust me. Hi, Strawberry Nuke. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so we just... No, we just run this way? One of these ways. I think maybe it's timed, actually. There we go. Okay, now we have Perkele. See, that was Ryla trying to pull you straight to logic, and Perkele got you out. He's like, no, no, no. No, no, no. You're playing my games first, is what he said. Top 10 most savage Morday moments. So true. Okay. Ah, there you are. Give him a real purr as well. The moon. It must be the moon god, you ponder. You read some vague tales about it during your time at the Amon libraries. Got you pulled from that nasty place. You were going deep inside that rabbit hole. Now, you are safe under the green hue of the moon. Thank you. You are welcome. Since our words could not possibly reach my master, I speak on his behalf. And who might my master be? Well, for now, let's just say that he is a delinquent one. Rare, the trickster moon god. You knew it. And me? You can call me Perkele. I am just a humble servant of his celestial majesty. Perkele, Perkele. The name does sound familiar to you, but you're not sure where you've heard it before. You are the dreamer. He is the dream. My master has invited you to join us in this jubilee of cosmic proportions. The festival of Termina is upon us. So good at voicing. Thank you. I try. Termina. You finally remembered where you've heard the name Perkele before. The deity is often linked to the so-called festival of Termina. Information about the festival is murky, but it is often associated with times of great turmoil. Many massacres in history have been blamed on this deity and the moon. Horrible acts have been committed in the name of lunacy. You can't remember much else. The moon god in general is shrouded in great mystery, and his ways are often left explained. Frieza wouldn't be a bad choice for him, actually. What is this festival of Termina? It is a festival to give you, the humans, a peek to grandeur and a chance to reach for illustrious heights. The festival to end all festivals. This must be all very confusing to you, so I won't burden you with any more exposition and information at this very moment. Just head towards the tower. That is all you need to know. Let us meet again under the moonlight. How was that for Perkele, do you think? Was that alright? Wake up, maggot! The train seems to have stopped. You hear voices. I trust you got the gist of things. Let us proceed. We have work to do. Something seems off, though. This is not the moon god's usual modus operandi. Trust no one. But me, obviously. As long as you do what I say, I actually don't care about the trust part. Now move it, maggot! Perkele would 100% call someone a monkey. Well, we can't do that with Osar. Come on, guys. I think Nashra would give him a choice. Yeah, probably not. Okay. Like my creepy... Okay. Let's check our equipment. What do we got? Yeah, we're good. We're going to be using mostly magic anyway. Do I have... Oh, no, don't do that. Do I have... Okay, yes. I gave myself a bunch of items too. Okay, good. Again, we're not playing seriously. We're just going at it. So, let's fight some stuff, huh? Let's go. You know what? Let's go to the Woodsman again, and then we'll go to, I think I shall visit myself upon the Woodsman. He seems so delightful, reveling in this festival, that I can't help myself. Of course, I'm not supposed to take part myself, but, well, The blood's been running for a month now, so... Well, a little fun can't hurt, can it? A little bit of English in there too, isn't it? Let's reset the timer while he has his fun. I shall pop inside for a brief moment to let the moon god gaze elsewhere, because I'm playing by the rules now too while I'm down here. I can't not hear Perkele's voice as Finnish, especially Alan yelling Perkele in Alan Wake 2. I'm afraid I haven't played that game yet, but I'm sure it's wonderful. You there? That was a bit English Lord, wasn't it? Oh, what are you doing? Forgot to put on a... I don't use censorship mods. He's gone mad. That's what we like to see, isn't it? Now, I shall unleash the true power of the moon. Actually, I can't do that. There we go. Now I can do that. I channel my inner powers. And I call upon the lunar storm. Where strike down these sinners. What the? That's so strong? How delightful this power. It is exactly what I had hoped for. I probably should have given myself some alcohol in preparation for this trip, but herbs will have to do. Lavender, yes, more lavender, please. Bro not playing censored? Yes, bro forgot. I'm going to chew down some lavender, and we're going to slay some dogs, some beasts of the woods. The blood spilt in Rare's name during the festival pleases him. As he gazes upon you, his anger grows, but everyone you kill pleases him just a little bit. And his rage softens for a brief moment. That did not do the amount of damage I hoped it would. Let's try again, shall we? Much better. And we'll... So his gaze is softened just ever so slightly after doing that. The trick to making it through these woods in the dead of night. Hope nothing egregiously assaulty actually happens. No, not in this game. It's somewhat mild in that regard compared to the first. Now I hear tell of a great beast lurking down here. I can sense the presence of one of these contestants who gave in. It was not strong enough. Now how do we find them again? Ah, very contrived. One would almost think that the city was arranged in a puzzle on purpose. But first, we must find the gas. Then... did we need one gas or two? I don't remember. Rifle. Human technology. It's laughable. I have all the power at my fingertips already. I don't need a rifle. Ah, of course. The second gas canister. Imagine Perkele scrolling on... You there! Yes! Let's have some fun, shall we? Even down here, I can call upon the power of the lunar storm to torture you like you need to be tortured. Goodness gracious. Goodness. I seem to have severely underestimated just how dangerous the contestants can be. I go down to meet my Dark Lord. Lord Sulphur, and burn in his rage, and he'll send me back. And I'll find you again. Well. Yes, I think the phobia screwed me there. Because when you have phobia, I'm pretty sure you take damage. You take extra damage. And so that pummel just... How would you deal with that? You'd have to actually use like the rifle, wouldn't you, and blow off the limbs before you get into the fight. Yeah, I got turbo-mogged there. I got CHADnaur by Chad Bella and CHADnaur, who transformed into CHADnaur under the light of Chad Rare, of the Chad God. Chair. And Chad Kelly got mocked. Well, that was a fast one. Okay. Now, who was left? So we have one left that I want to do. And we're playing as Needles. I might have a bit of trouble with this one, though. 1, 2, 3, 4... Is it 5? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. Should be this one. Yes, okay. Okay, so we're playing as Needles. Let's get the intro. We don't need the intro. Oh, by the way, are there any particularly funny moments in this stream so far? I thought that was a pretty good one where I got owned by CHADnaur. But are there any other funny moments you guys can think of? So I've got Sandman's Kiss. And I didn't have anything else. That's fine. How many saves do you have? I've got on this one, I have 70 saves. This is from my entire time playing. My earliest saves, I can look at the files here. It's from December 21st, 2022, which is right after the game came out. So I've got 4-year-old saves on this computer. So yeah, clippable moments. We want clippable moments. This whole stream's been hilarious. I'm glad. Like a sense of mod realization, that was pretty funny. Yeah. Hang on. Let me write these down. CHADnaur was a good one. Sensor mod, good one. Instant Book of Enlightenment, yes. Enlightenment. And then I got the shotgun, and then I got the Bremen armor. That was pretty sick, actually, wasn't it? But the whole stream, sometimes you can do that. I'm just looking for clips though. I'm just thinking about it. This is basically a clip farming stream, isn't it? Okay, so that's good. And abilities. Does Needles have any abilities? I don't think he does. So Needles has the whip, right? He has the drug whip. And we don't have that as a weapon. The closest we have is Sandman's Kiss, which is a sword with a heroin needle jammed onto it. So that's as close as you get in this. So every stream is a clip farming stream. You are so true, Emmy. So true. It is. How far in are we? Yeah. No, this is a dying stream, so now get Gooning to be lore accurate. That's so true. All right, guys, here I'm just gonna no. New Guys podcast. Oh, maybe we can actually bring that back. Now I'm not crazy. You know what? I know. We'll see. I'm not going to make any promises. I don't want to promise anything for anybody else. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But at the moment, no, it's not ongoing. It's not ongoing at the moment because I went crazy for a while. Imagine if you used Vent. There's some bad jokes you can make there. We're not going there. Needle's death to cure addiction work in Maso mode? No. Needles isn't there. Because all of the contestants have been transformed. So Needles isn't actually there yet. So my first time. What do you mean by Needles podcast? New Gods podcast. The New Gods podcast was a podcast that myself and three other people from the three other Fear and Hunger content creators used to host. So that was Allbones Jones. It's on my. You can see on my channel. You can see that a whole bunch of them there. If you go back and look, so Allbones Jones, Frapollo, Dark Raccoon, and we had guests as well. Worm Girl was a pretty frequent guest, especially towards the end. It was a lot of fun, but I just went crazy and I couldn't host it anymore. So meow 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 meow. Okay, so what I want to do, and Allbones left as well. So like that was the hard end to it because Allbones took a big break. We thought he was permanently gone, but then by some sort of Christmas miracle he returned. So Needle's death curing actually does work. Oh, it does the first time he does it. I thought he had to do it in the I thought he had to do it in that one location, but maybe not. I guess it's just the first death. That makes sense. I've only ever done it there, so I don't like using exploits as much unless it's funny. So I did it a couple of times, but then I was like, well, it's not funny anymore. So anyway, okay. Like that guy, he's funny on Twitter. Yeah, Bones is a pretty funny guy. Yeah. Go follow Allbones Jones. Go look him up. Allbones Jones on Twitter. He's a good friend. He's a good friend of mine too. One of my longest running friends in the VTuber sphere, actually. Here, you know what? I'll get his Twitter. Go check him out. Go check out Bonesy. He's a good guy. He pretends he isn't, but he has a heart of gold. It's like maybe it's like a tiny little, like a couple of grains of gold, but it's there. with his hard, crusty exterior. No, he's a good guy. Okay, so for this last one, what I want to do is, so I was racking my brain. I was like, okay, so who are really good clowns in horror, right? Well, you've got Terrifier, but he doesn't talk. So, well, that's obviously off the table because I'm here to talk, aren't I? So then who are some other great clowns? And my immediate thought, and I was like, I have to do this, it's Captain Spaulding. Well, howdy, folks. I can't believe you've come to my little old stream. Now we're going to go terrorize the town of Prehevil. And we are going to kill some people, and then we are going to eat some fried chicken. Now you folks know where to come on down. You come on down to Captain Spaulding's horror spot, whose name I have forgotten. I'm kind of country. Is it flawless? Thank you. I'm trying to be a little bit country, but I will slip into... He wasn't entirely country, which was really interesting. He was only when he really wants to emphasize it. He was pretty rough though, but he had just a great way of speaking, and I don't know if I'll be able to nail his jokes, because his jokes were fantastic. And that's the problem with doing it live, is you don't get all the great jokes and the perfect dialogue. You don't get the perfect dialogue, and I might go a little bit too country. I'm gonna be a little bit of a country bumpkin, but he's not a country bumpkin. He is actually very smart. So we are here on Secret Clown Business. Greatest line in the whole movie. That was House of a Thousand Corpses. That was a brilliant movie. I was in House of a Thousand Corpses, and I tell you what, that was in Devil's Rejects, wasn't it? And we are going to add a few more corpses to that pile. I tell you what, we are here on Not So Secret Clown Business. We are gonna kill and kill and kill these little fuckers. And it's gonna be really funny. It's great for improv. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now let's do the old standard, and let's reset old Mr. Angry Rare. And let's pick up a little bit of loot. Rare. The moon god Rhea. Let's add an extra syllable. Not there. Extra syllable to some of our words. Oh, words. And would you looky here, we got ourselves a skin Bible. Chapter of Rhea. Very much like the sun, the moon is one of those primordial or entities and thus has lore and beliefs written since the dawn of time. This makes it difficult to separate facts from fiction and mad ramblings from hidden truths. Consistent details among the myriad of stories seem to hint at a god called Rhea, also known as the trickster god and the moon god. In the most ancient of writings, Rhea is depicted as the god of the insane, that's me, and those who have succumbed to the madness. His blessing for men is his moonlight. They love the beautiful moonlight, which is said to uncover the truth under the human filth, a truth that is often too much for a human mind to handle. You know how else we can uncover that truth? Why, we tie you up and we skin you. We skin you like an animal. And we butcher you, and then we deep fry you, and then we sell you. It can be debated whether his version of the truth is more accurate than that of the human filth. Unlike many of the older gods, Rhea's part in the greater scheme of things remains a mystery. Sounds like he's here on secret clown business. Just looking at the night sky, you can see his presence in an eternal slumber. This makes his secrecy even more infuriating. He is literally hiding in plain sight. The mark of Rhea raises maximum capacity of the mind. The text includes, very handily, the sigil of Rhea and instructions on how to use it. That might make a very good logo for a chicken bucket. We love occult things in this business. My shop is, of course, filled with them. Most of them are not entirely legitimate, but hey, nobody knows that now, do they? Now, enough dilly-dallying. I think it's time to have a little fun, don't you? Let me just have a little sniff of the good stuff. From a horror movie clown, why, yes, it is. It is Captain Spaulding, who, of course, does a better voice than I do. But look at this Woodsman, and look at his pecker hanging out. Ho, ho, ho! You do not see that every day. That's it. I am here to start a fight, and I am going to have a little fun. Well, man, mister, you only leave me one choice here. What do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I'm going to do? Good Lord, he took my arm off. Well, we all know what happens when Mr. Needles, of course, loses his arm, but we should probably finish this fight so I don't quite die so quickly, actually. Let's take off this arm. Oh, Lordy. Looks like I was the one who was clowned upon. Well, look, we have a little fun here in the clown business, but that was maybe a little bit too much fun. I am chomping at the bit. I need to set him straight. If you will just give me a moment, I will get back to him. If you will just oblige me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, usually you cannot do this, but we're here on secret clown business that cannot be ignored. So we have to get a little special. I think for streaming it's kind of different. Gotta stop picking characters who start fights and are never making progress. Well, there are some things that are more important than getting an ending or, fighting bosses. We're here to kill. And kill we shall. I'm crying. These are canonically how all of them would die in the festival. No. This is not canonically how I would die in the festival. I am Captain Spaulding. And I am meant for greater things than dying to some woodsman. Without even having yet one more piece of fried chicken to my name. Who needs progress? Exactly. You understand me, don't you? Some people, they understand me. The moon god. We learned all about him. Mr. Rael. The secretive one. Well, and he watches from above. Look, I kind of like the sound of that. I kind of like it. Shingetsu? Is that a Lapon Katsu emoticon? Well, the friends of Lapon Katsu are always welcome here. That's a girl who likes her fried chicken. I don't think she likes spooky stuff, though, so she's probably not watching right now. Now, let's have us a little bit of the good stuff, huh? Okay. Now we got our weapons equipped properly. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay. Do I have one of those books? I have a book of enlightenment. Of course, that was just a fluke that he caught me off guard next time with his pecker out. I couldn't help but laugh. But now, I'm expecting his pecker. And I won't be drawn to its length and girth. I will simply play a little smarter. We can take that and we can fry it later. How about that? Come to me. We have unfinished business. You are going to die, my friend. Give me that axe. Oh! Clown shenanigans. Oh. This does not look good, my friends. We might be in for a little bit of a fight again. I think I need a guard to protect myself from his... He's waving that thing around like it's going mad. Oh. Okay. Oh, I have to use my lucky coins to survive this. Whoa! And I just dodged it. I just dodged a man's pecker. You know how crazy that is? In the middle of a fight, you just drop down your pants and you go at it? Look, I may have done that once or twice, but this is something else. I ain't never seen one jump off. Oh, my friends, we are in for quite a lot of trouble. I need to dip into my stash, my other good stuff, and I'll use a little bit of condensed blue, which should perk me right up. My word! This man. Look, fellas, a clown knows when he's beat. Look, fellas, I don't know about this one. I think you might have me. Oh, look, there's some situations, my friends, where instead of crying, you just gotta laugh and you just gotta skedaddle and you just gotta live to fry chicken another day. And I think that might be today. I think he's got us. We had him on the ropes, but then he came down. You know, I thought I was the devil coming down to Georgia. I was all up in my boots, and then I met the man with the golden fiddle, huh? Old Johnny sitting on a stump. Well, I know where I'm licked. Well, my friends, I think that might be a good spot to end this little stream of ours. Our little secret clown business. Stuck like that forever, huh? What do you mean? This is just how I talk. Now, I'm going to need to... You know, my friends, I'm glad you came here today to spend a little time with little old me. Little old Morthay Duke, little old Needles, little old Captain Spaulding. Great stream, did not disappoint. Well, I'm glad. Maybe in future we should just make them all character streams like this, where I try some different accents. I don't know how many I've got in my little box of tricks though. So maybe you'll be disappointed when you hear the same accent 10 times in a row for an hour-long stream, you know? Maybe I'll have to find some new ones and practice them. But, you know, that's what we do in the clowning business. You're always practicing. You're always practicing a new trick. Hang on, let me get up nice and close. Get up nice and close to you all, my friends. I was thinking about doing a little bit there where I instantly changed back to my usual voice when I got up close, but like I'm just really enjoying doing the Captain Spaulding style. Voice actor training. Surely you know a voice actor. Why would I need voice actor training? This is just how I speak. Oh, I almost missed that. Thank you, Ilkan Brett Andrews. Take a tenner. Why, thank you. Come to my shop and I'll give you a bucket of fried chicken for that, my friend. You are always welcome. Just be careful at the back there. We got an axe-wielding maniac. Me. You know me. Catch me off guard, I might just put an axe in your head. What accents do you think each character would have? That might be fun to explore. Well, you're right there. How about we take a quick look? We'll take a quick look at what characters we have. F5 to reset the game. Gone face to face now. Why, true I have. No, don't continue. What are you doing? Back. New game. Okay, so we have Levi. He would be a zoomer. Marina. She would be a zoomer. Dan. He would be a zoomer. Abella. Zoomer. Osar. Well, my friend, he of course would be a zoomer. Olivia. Our little butterfly. Our little rose. Our little precious garden flower. She would be a... Well, now let me think. A zoomer. Marco. Well, with that haircut, what else could he be? A zoomer. Karen. Well, she's got her dyed hair and her roots sticking out. That's a common style amongst the zoomers. I think that's great. Can I even speak in a zoomer accent? What do the zoomers say? They go, hang on. They say, brah, let me hit one of your little old, give me a hit from your, what do they call that thing? Your e-cigarette, your vape pen. Give me a hit of your vape pen, brah. Give me 6-7 hits from your vape pen. And I'll buy you a glizzy. That's what the zoomers say, right? We say big words? What words? You don't say big words. I heard you talk. You speak nonsense. You speak Twitter nonsense. That's what you speak. Don't you lie to me. Look, I'm going to go on Twitter right now and I'm going to find, in like the first 5 tweets, I'm going to find something nonsense. Literally. That's what you say. The biggest word you zoomers say is literally. You don't say real words. I'm not actually seeing any. Yeah, the first time I ever open up X, as you zoomers call it, X, and there's no zoomer tweets. The very first time, usually I am assaulted with the opinions of 14-year-olds I did not consent to. More they acknowledging 6-7 before the Termina update. What is Termina? Levi would say 6. He would. Look at him. If you do Marco with a stereotypical Italian accent, I'm going to go to sleep in a moldy bed. How do I do an Italian accent? Italian? Where's Frappolo? I get Frappolo in here to do an Italian accent for Marco. I'm gonna go like really stereotypical pizza advert. They trot out the Italian accents for the pizza adverts, and then when they're at home, they just talk normally like this. That's like, yeah, look at that, right? Oh, that happened. I watched Sweeney Todd last night, and they had that with Perkele. I am Perkele. I am Marco. Life as an underground boxing ring has taught the boxer how to deal with opponents barehanded. The boxer excels at close quarters combat. And look, there's a chance that Marco here is a bit light in the loafers. You know what they say, Based on a single insult from a guy who insults everybody, you know. Based on the illustrious Caligura, you know, the mod boss. He insults everybody, and he calls Marco, you know, something very nasty I won't repeat here. I'm a good Catholic man, of course, I'm not going to repeat it, but, you know, he says these awful things, and people, they take it as fact, they take it as gospel. It's canonical now. It's canonical now that Marco was gay because his arch enemy, you know, said some very nasty things about him. Do I think that way? Well, no, I'm going to leave that up to Miro if he wants to. You know, if he wants to make Marco light in the loafers, well, that's his business, right? I'm not here to judge. You know, I'm a good Catholic man. I don't judge. But, you know how it is. You know how it is with these fandoms. You know. Caligura wouldn't lie. Look, here's the thing. He's a good Catholic man, too. Never done a thing wrong in his life. The moment he thinks a bad thought, he's straight into the confession booth. But, you know, sometimes our emotions get the best of us, you know. Our emotions, they take control of us. We can't help it, we're only human. Caligura, you know, as good as he dresses, he's only human. So, of course, he makes some mistakes. Maybe. We don't know. We'll see. We'll leave it up to the word of God. Excuse me, the word of Miro himself. So that's a rough attack. Thank you. It feels a bit more like Italian mob from the US, right? I don't know. I need to practice that one. Cali, he makes some human mistakes. You know, Cali, he makes some mistakes. Caligura is an honorary leader of his magical girl squad. He's got his little magical wand out and he transforms and bada bing bada boom, he's a magical girl and he's got his little skirt on and look, I don't want to see it, like but it is what it is, right? Sometimes you see it when they're fighting through the city, right? Cal called him a diaper fetishist. Look, he did, and look, like I don't want to say anything, but Caligura, he's got pictures. I didn't want to believe it, but yeah, maybe it's what they, what's that thing, that AI or something like that artificial Italians, but look, I don't know. It looked convincing to me. I didn't look too closely. He's Sicilian. Yeah, he's Sicilian. Got to go, man. New copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He's going to be nice. It's pretty good. Okay. Probably a guy from Rome and they're all hotheads. Yeah. Well, yes. I forgot his name. I blanked on his name. Caligura and Marco are indeed from Vatican City. They, because they're mob people who run in the same circles, you see, because Marco was a bit of a he wasn't that high up, but Caligura still knew him, which suggests that him and him butted heads at some point, which would mean that he was likely in the same city or the same circles that they ran in, of course. Just created CHADnaur, my first Funga playthrough after binging your channel. I'm glad, Lucas. Bienvenue. What a great name. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? AI stands for artificial intelligence. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's perfect. If you guys, so whether what clips did you like from that? I actually kind of like the Italian bit there. That was pretty funny. Artificial Italians is pretty funny, I think. But I'm just like looking for clips, I don't know. I'm just thinking about getting back into streaming, and the best way. So the reason I'm after clips is because to get back into streaming, to get good at streaming, you need to clip yourself, and you need to look very closely at what clips do well, right? And you need to pay attention to that. And then, if you pay attention to that, and you start to really focus on what clips do well, then when you're live streaming, you start to remember, you start to see in a moment when it's happening. And so then your clips get better because you see a good, like say like the artificial Italian one. Say it's a good clip, right? People love it. It goes ultra viral, gets 100 grillion views. So then I would know, okay, speaking an Italian accent and making dumb jokes works. So then in the future, I will try to do that more. And when I sense a dumb joke coming, I'll just lean into it. And maybe that ends up in a lot more bad jokes, but you get more good jokes. And then theoretically, if assuming like in this little hypothetical, that means more good jokes means more good clips. So okay, that fuck ass bit after Nita's playthrough started. I quite enjoyed that, didn't I? Needles. I got straight into it, boys. Yeehaw! Like when you came back from the washroom and spoke in a nerdy voice. Yeah. Nerdy voice after break. I was supposed to be recording the stream because it's much easier to edit clips if you've recorded it, but I forgot to do that. I just had to download the VOD. That's okay. Okay. When you post clips from VODs, I don't usually, but I will be posting, if I find the ones that I like and I actually do them up properly, I'll post them on this channel here. I used to stream on my side channel. Maybe I'll start doing that again, actually, because I can actually be consistent now. So, okay. Gonna start making more they do brain rot. Good Lord, don't do that. That's terrifying. Okay, my friends. 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 It's time to say goodbye. Let me get on my YouTuber voice. We had some laughs. We had some tears. We cried. But most of all, we had an experience. We had an experience that you can't get anywhere else, didn't we? Didn't we, guys? Let me get some nice music. Let me get some nice music. Where is it? I can't find it. Whatever. This will do. Risk-free music. Perfect. We laughed. We cried. We had some fun. We made some friends. We made some new friends. We met up with old friends. And, you know, that's what life is about, isn't it? The connections we build. And more importantly, you donated money to me. And frankly, I think that's what life is really about, is when you give me money. So in future, whenever you're feeling a little down, just remember, it would really make Morday smile if I sent him my paycheck. And it would. Your whole paycheck. For me. Thank you. I would really smile at that. And I like to think that when I smile, you guys can feel it too. You know, if I'm like 100% happy, maybe each of you, maybe you just feel like a little 1% happier, right? And at the end of the day, that's all you can hope for. To get 1% happier by sending a streamer your paycheck. And that's really what life is about, isn't it? So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. More used to pay for the medicines. Look, when I got them, they're not that expensive. They're pricier than I thought. But I was on a bunch of like multivitamins and whatnot, and sorry, vitamins rather, not multivitamins, vitamins. And I basically just swapped them out. So it was what I was spending anyway. Since we have 50% of the content, we should get half of the profit. Now, hang on a second. I don't remember signing that contract. Once I get financially stable again, look, in all seriousness, look, this is entertainment. This is free entertainment, by the way, because your attention actually does pay my bills a little bit. I get ad revenue just for you watching. So look, if you ever don't ever feel bad for not actually sending money in, because if you really want to support me, honestly, the best way is just watching, you know, because yeah, I get ad revenue. So like, yeah, look, seriously, it's fun. I'm just joking. I'm putting on a character. The real more they do behind the scenes, well, he's a nice guy. And you know how I know that? Because I chained him up and I beat him until he stopped being a nice guy. So he's trapped down in the basement screaming right now. Maybe you can even hear him. Help! 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 There's no snacks down here, mate. Mate, what are you doing? You said there was a Barbie. I told him there was a Barbie down there, but there isn't. Got him again. There's no budding snags down there, mate. Make it more they do, not being unreasonable, asking for donations at others' detriment. Well, look, I think about it. It brings a smile to my face thinking about others suffering from my entertainment, so that is what it is. Okay. So we accidentally turned a 1-hour stream into a 3-hour stream because I couldn't stop yapping. I'm very sorry about that. And I'm actually very late for something, so I have to go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you.